guys and gals. Oh, man. Can't breathe. Hello, guys and gals, and welcome. Welcome. So, I do have to go to work tonight, but I want to get in some more of this challenge run. Obviously, we only got a couple days before freaking season starts of Diablo 2 Resurrected, and I want to get into the new season. So, we got to finish this challenge before the new season starts. And also, once the new season starts, we got about like 6 days before System Shock 2 25th Anniversary Remaster. And so I'm going to be like diving into that hardcore. I think we might spend more time playing System Shock 2 Remaster than we are just about anything else. I might have to go back through and like do some other videos. I've been waiting for this one for a while. For 25 years, actually. I've been waiting for this one for 25 years. System Shock 2 has needed a remaster for quite some time. Anyway, that's not what we're doing today, even though I'm excited about it. It's not the point of the stream. The point of the stream is Diablo. I guess let's play some Diablo, I guess. I suppose. All right. So we left off at level 75 in hell difficulty. And, yeah. Level 75 in hell. That's not bad. The, character is not really strong enough, though, to, like, really handle hell, but we can kill some monsters in hell relatively easily. We definitely need some stronger equipment, that's for sure. Let's go over the equipment that we do have, and let's talk about what we've got so far. So, first off, our mercenary is woefully inadequate at this point because he's relegated to set items only, which makes him absolutely awful. And I have been absolutely, unfortunately, unlucky in finding any set items worthwhile for him. He has an angelic sickle, which is the best I can find for him, which is absolutely useless and does him no good. He has an infernal cranium, which gives him a little bit of resistances. That's about it. And he's got a Clayglaw shield, which I guess at the very least gives him 75% poison length reduction. I still have yet to find a single set armor for him, which is quite unfortunate. I might have to go back to Nightmare difficulty and do a little Cow King farming because, quite honestly, he needs better gear, and we really need him to be useful. Like, I think that's one thing that we really need is for him to be useful. For us, on the other hand, I have a not very good Hyperion Javelin, which is at least okay physical damage-wise. A really decent circlet that we found that I socketed and put a Ral rune in, so it's got pretty much like all res on it, which is not bad. A really crappy amulet, which is better than nothing. It's the only rare amulet that I've found so far. Both of my shields are pretty poor, to be perfectly honest. Like, not really all that great on either side of the equation there. Boots are pretty good. I found these yesterday. Not bad. 20% faster run walk with a resistance and magic find. Pretty decent little booties. I'm running a ring that has a resistance on it and some decent stats. Want a faster recovery belt. This is a magic find ring. I have a better ring in the stash. I'm using this specifically for magic finding, but I do have... Where's my better ring? There it is. Which is a life leech ring, which is not bad. That goes in there when I'm not... when I'm trying to be serious. I also got these magic find gloves that dropped that were pretty cool. 21% magic find with 2 reses. But I do also have this pair, which is 20% increased attack speed and 2 reses. Although the reses aren't really that great. Resistances are a big problem for me right now. My armor only has 2 reses on it, nothing else. I also have this pair of javelins, which is +1 to skills and some mana leech and whatnot. Not like super duper awful. Unfortunately, my hands are tied, and I'm doing the best I can with what I have available to me, which is really all I can do. I think our priority for right now is to gear up my boy here and try and get him better equipment. So I think maybe Nightmare Cow King, it might be a good place to start farming. Let's go back to Nightmare difficulty. Let's see if we can get some gear for him, at least some armor. Something for him to put on his chest so he doesn't have his hairy man chest sticking out. Would probably be nice for him, I would imagine. The hairy man chest. Rare kite shield. Pretty much anything could be better than what I'm currently using, so like I'm not greedy. I'll check it all out. This has got 2 reses, lightning and poison. Is that better than my other one, which is just cold res? It does have half freeze duration on it. I mean, I don't know if it's better or worse. It seems about the same, to be perfectly honest. Let's get our Valkyrie involved. We can actually do some terror zones too. Might not be a bad idea for some gear farming. Ancient Tunnels is currently on TZ. Let's kill the Cow King, and then we'll go into Ancient Tunnels, and we'll see what we can get there. What's up, DKK? How's it going? Gotta fix my windows here. Can't see anything. Boop, boop, boop. Akara, give me a new Tome of Town Portalis. I do kind of like the 2 reses on this shield. Other than that, it's not really amazing, but as we put together a final set of gear for Hell difficulty climb, you never know. We might need those 2 specific resistances higher than the others, which could be something that ends up happening. I wish my mercenary would get the hell out of the middle of the freaking cow pack. Like, bro. Like, that's the one place that you don't need to be. Get out of the middle of the cow pack, please. Of course he walks right back into the middle of the cow pack. Hey, it's the Great Maul. The Maul I can't use. I wouldn't use it anyway, but like it's kind of funny that it fell. It's the steel driver, I believe, right? Yeah, beautiful steel driver. I carried my druid through many a run. Okay. Yeah, die. Alright, where's the cow king at? Ever wonder what that sound effect is when you, like, attack monsters with poison damage? I've always wondered what the hell that sound effect is. Ow. Stiletto. Bovines. Alright. Let's get some healy pots, some mana potions. Some more healy pots. Some butthole pots.
It's locked.
Some Quarass. For some monies. the superior field plate. The Quaras is ethereal. It's worthless. Worthless. For those of you who are unaware, ethereal items have like 50% value. I'm not exactly sure like what algorithm it uses either, because I swear it doesn't seem like 50%. Seems like it's a lot worse than 50%. Like an item that might be worth 35,000 gold, when it's ethereal, might be worth like 10k or like 5k or something. Like, it's basically garbage at that point. Like, let's go check for fun, right? So the Quaras, it's usually worth 35,000 gold. Okay, guaranteed. Every single time, 35,000 gold. What is it worth now? 13k. About the same amount as that superior field plate that I picked up. Bink. I need all the flawless amethysts I can get. Well, perfect amethysts I can get. I need all the perfect ones. I need to keep at least one the flawless on hand in case I find a shrine. A shrine to the gods. The godliest of shrines, yeah, holy. Start sacrificing. Sacrifice. I'm nowhere near enough skulls for a reroll on a rare item yet. I was hoping to have at least 6 skulls, perfect skulls, by the time I got to the end, but not really on the track for that. That's for sure. Diamond, diamond, diamond. No, I messed it up. I'm leaving the chippies. I can use those to make money later for gambling. Which, honestly, we probably should do some more gambling. Gambling, bambling, gonna be jambling, bambling, gonna be jambling, bambling, gonna be gambling, bambling. Jambling, bambling, gonna be jambling, gambling. We're gonna Joe Jamble with Jeed. Jies. We're gonna Joe Jamble with Jeed, Jies. You gotta Joe Jamble with Jeed, Jies. Joe Jamble with Jeed, Jies. You gotta Joe Jamble with Jeed, Jies. You gotta Joe Jamble with Jeed. Oh no. Danger. Danger, Will Robinson. I almost got myself stuck. Cows were going to eat my flesh. The murderous cows. The satanic cows. Ooh, Neolithic Temple. That means we can farm Pendle for a little while. Pendle's not immune to poison, is he? I can't remember what Pendle's immune to. That'd be a good farm, too. Ooh, a rare Quarass. Hopefully it's got some sockets. And some good stats. Grim Shield and a Bassinet. Those are all worth money. Round Shield's okay. It's not amazing. Sacred Globe might be worth something. Or Javelin has tiny value. Defender has okay value. Alright, let's go to a higher level zone. What's the cap out on Nightmare difficulty TZs? Was it like 72 or something like that? I can't remember. Alright, the poopies. Money, 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 money. And the Quarass. The Ghoul Shell Quarass. It has 53 life, and that's it, and nothing else. Absolutely poopy. $71. Then the monsters go higher than that, right? So like the elites and whatnot go even higher. Let's get our mercenary, because we actually might be useful while we're doing this. And let's go farm Pindleskin. Pindleskin should be what, 73, 74? I can't remember. He's like what, 3 higher? 74, right? Ugh, he's got conviction over him. Aw, Pindleskin's immune to poison. Okay, well that pretty much rules him out. It's interesting because the Defiled Dead in the yard are not immune to poison, but Pindleskin is. Huh. That's pretty rude.
Yes.
So Pindleskin, no. But we don't have the waypoint. Like, we skip Neolithic basically every time. So we can go down, we can try and get the waypoint. Let's see if I can squeeze by Pindleskin without dying. That conviction aura is atrocious. Alright, so we have to find the waypoint, otherwise we won't be able to come back. What do we got? Demonkin down here? Those guys are easy to kill with poison. They have basically no poison res. That's a pretty good one. Horror mages that are also poison. That have no poison resistance themselves, apparently. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. Yeah, this is easy pickings. Easy pickings. The new season of Resident Alien. Ooh, I haven't seen like all of the current like Resident Alien because it's on like a weird. Like like it was on Netflix, but it was only like the first season or something, and then like the second season was on like some weird streaming app that I'd never heard of, and I had to go like download the app just to watch the next season, and I haven't completed the entire thing. The last part that I got to on Resident Alien was when that other alien came to audit his like being on another planet or something. Like he had like an alien from some sort of organization auditing him, and they ended up like doing it. That was the last thing I remember.
Good afternoon.
I'm pretty sure I was trying to keep up with it like episode by episode, but it was like next to impossible for some reason. Just it's not easy to keep up with that show. It's owned by an odd network that was like got a stranglehold on it. I'll have to pick it up eventually when it shows up on a streaming platform that's actually easy to get access to. A gilded shield. No. I can't wear. Oh my god, it's so good too, and I can't wear. Can I just like glue that onto my shield, please? It's 42 all res with 52 cold. Can I just glue it on? I just want to glue it on. It's not. You know what the sad thing is it's not even worth any money. For some reason, paladin shields are like one of the like least valuable items in the game. I don't know why. Like that and assassin claws.
Salutations.
Oh wow, there must be something on it worth something, because it's 30k gold. I mean, it's not that they can't be worth money. They can be worth money, but like they usually aren't. I wonder what modifier on this is what's making it worth money. It's not the all res, because the all res never makes it worth anything. And maybe it's the defense on it. It could be the defense specifically. Because usually that's the case with armor, too. Armor goes up by the defense. Like, the value of the item goes up by the defense. Maybe that's why most of them aren't really worth anything, because their defense is so low. That actually could be an interesting, like, test. We could, like, play around with various shields and see, like, what makes them worth money. Like, Monarch shields are always worth 35,000 gold. Doesn't matter if they're got any effects on them or not. They're just always worth 35,000 gold. What's up, Bullivan? How's it going? Welcome to the challenge mode. We've got no uniques and no rares and no set items. We're doing the best we can, okay? We're doing the best we can with what the Lord gave us. That was my day. I woke up around like 2 o'clock. Took a shower, came up here, doing some streaming. Gotta go night shift tonight, so, you know, gotta get some sleep. Even though I am chugging an energy drink right now. Energy, energy, chugging energy. I always wonder why heavy crossbows are worth so much too. Like, for some reason, heavy crossbows tend to be worth a lot. Mainly the higher tier ones, like the elite and exceptionals, not the lower tier ones like the heavy crossbow. But as you can see, even this lower tier heavy crossbow is worth 12k. And I need all the money I can get for gambling. For jambling. We need to jamble with Jeed, boys. We need to jamble with Jeed. By the way, I love your content that you are carrying a bulk of sweetness and motivity in that. What's motivity? What the hell is motivity? You can make me look up a word. Motivity. Definition. The power or capacity to move or cause motion. I guess. There's a lot of motivity when I'm with my beautiful lady. No, I'm just kidding. Well, do you only play this game? No, I don't only play this game. I play tons of other games. I actually have a lot of other playthroughs on my YouTube channel. I love playing Diablo 2, don't get me wrong, but I also like variety as well. So, you'll see me play tons of other games. Like, I played Elden Ring Night Rain, Elden Ring DLC, I played Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, I played Bioshock, tons of various horror games. I played Kingdom Come Deliverance when that came out. I played Doom Dark Ages. That was really good. I actually really liked that. That was a nice little breath of fresh air in the first-person shooter department. Vicious got me Dune Awakening. It was pretty good. I mean, for what it was, I think it was pretty good. I don't think I'd want to live there, but it was a fun adventure in the Dune lands. I might go back eventually and play a little bit more. I feel like they need to do some balancing on the way the items are like designed in that game. I feel like there's like a really weird imbalance in that game, like the rarity of equipment versus like the actual rarity of the item in terms of like what it was intended to be rare. Like I swear they'll have like this one item. They're like, oh, 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 the golden juice of the gods, so rare that no one has it. I borrowed this from God. And you're like, yeah, I have like 3,752 of those. And you're like, there's no way that you have 3,752 of the golden juice of the gods. And you're like, yeah, I actually do. Do you need some? Like, because I could really use some, like, copper. Like, they're like, what are you talking about? Copper is everywhere. It's all over the place. It's in every orifice of every building. And you're like, yeah, like, I've got 3,752 golden juice of the gods. If you would like to trade, I will give you 100 golden juice of the gods for, like, 10 copper. Like, if you would please give me, like, a 100 to 10 ratio, like, I will do it right now. Please. How long have I been running this channel? Pretty long time, like 4 years, I think. About 4 years, yeah, about 4 years. I don't know when my first real YouTube video was. I put some like silly crap up for like a long time ago, but I mean my YouTube channel's right here. Got 17 million views, 3,425 videos, 60,000 subscribers. 3,425 videos, boys. That's a lot of content. That is a lot of content. Oh, that's why Mark did. Come back here, Mark.
Good
It's
afternoon.
probably been more than 4 years. I don't think it's been more than 4 years. The problem is like the channel only started when I actually started putting out content. I made a mistake and I probably shouldn't have used a channel that already existed. Like I basically just converted a channel that already existed into a channel. Like yeah, which I shouldn't have done. But you know, whatever. I think my first official video was like when I actually tried to become a YouTuber was in August of 2020. It was toward the end of 2020 but I didn't really like become a YouTuber in earnest until like 2021. I'm pretty sure 2021 was when like I actually started to like do videos about actual topics and people were actually interested in them and watch them on a regular basis. Yeah, it wasn't until like January 2021. So it'll be like 5 years in like January of next year, basically. Yeah, my channel was already up before D2R. I had nobody watching. I put out a couple videos here or there. Nothing super impressive. Oh god. Did I go to town to get my mercenary and then forget to get my mercenary? Like I am a very impressive individual, guys. Why doesn't my stream get more views? My streams get pretty good views. It really depends on the content that I'm streaming and the day and the hour that I'm streaming. Sometimes I stream in the middle of the night, which is, you know, not conducive to actually people watching my stream. It'd be like 4 a.m. in the morning and I start up a stream. There's like 3 people on and they like rise from the grave like zombies. They're like, Ginger is streaming. I had like 8K subs when you joined, Charles. Well, I appreciate the support, man. I know some of you guys have been here since the beginning, and I really appreciate it. Bullivant is a spammer. Very interesting spammer. Like I got to give you credit. You're a lot more intriguing than like some of the other spammers that just show up and do a copy pasta. I like my profile picture, and my banner is something I paid for, so I like that too. Seems like you're an artwork guy or gal, one or the other. A little bit of a tip for you. Attacking somebody's channel is not a good way to get their business. Like if I come into your channel and I'm like, oh wow, your channel looks so good. It's so sad that you don't get more views. Maybe if you had a better channel banner. I mean, you're not fooling anybody. Like, you're looking for a job. I mean, I get it. I even complimented you, and you're like, you're doing a better job than most people. But like, you're basically just hopping in, like soliciting, or scammer would be the wrong term, right? You're soliciting, solicitation. That's basically what you're doing. That's why a lot of businesses have like a sign up that says no soliciting. Yes, I pretty much gathered that much already, Bullivan. I figured that out pretty quickly. Didn't take me very long. Lionhelm, Cymbalane. Man, this poison down here is atrocious. I kind of feel bad for poisoning them because they're also poisoning. I'm poisoning them. They're poisoning me. Everybody's getting poisoned. We're all poisoned. I'll buy some antidote pots. I'm tired of dying. My Discord username is available to anybody who wants it, my friend. All you gotta do is type in !Discord. I can't guarantee you I can give you any work at all. Because I'm poor. I spend all my money on bills and stuff, so, you know, like, I'm a working YouTuber. I'm not a rich YouTuber. I'm just a working YouTuber. Every penny I make just goes straight to my bills. 4293. I mean, it's got decent damage on it, but it's pretty fast too. Like, I can't use it with like a pail or anything. Why is the throw and the one-handed damage the same? That's odd. Like when you look at my javelin, my throw and one-handed damage are different, and this one is like exactly the same on both. Dude, I get assaulted with artwork bots on a regular basis. And that's why I complimented Bolvin on actually doing a good job, like trying to message me in a specific way that like didn't immediately come off as like the worst thing ever, but like um to give you an example here. So like message requests, spam. So like I've actually ignored most of these people, but like I'll come on here and these are all basically like artwork bots, and it'll just be like artwork bot after artwork bot after artwork bot after artwork, like 10 or 20 of them in here, like all the way down the list as far as the eye can see. And like I literally would just like ignore them all because they're not worth talking to. There's so many of them too. Like I can't even I really can't even explain how many of them are. Oh, and there's thought bots too. There's the ones that are trying to like get your attention from like thought bots. Like that's a thought bot right there. I'm gonna go ahead and ignore that. They got the thought bots. Bulvin, I ain't doing the work for you. I'm lazy as crap. One of the things that I value above all else, if you actually are a real person and not just like a bot, one of the things I value above all else is your ability to do more than what I need. Like, like if you want to do artwork for me, you're gonna have to do the artwork. Like, I don't have time to baby you and like hold your hand and like teach you how to do it and like tell you which way it needs to be done and what colors it needs to be, and like give you my Discord name and any of that other stuff. Like like I already told you, my Discord name is literally available for anybody who wants it by typing in !Discord. So if you repeat a silly statement like that where you want me to share my Discord name with you, when I've literally already told you that it's available for anybody, I'm just going to assume you're a bot and I'm going to ban you. You got about one try here. About one. You got about one try. And then the ban hammer's coming. The ban hammer. Where's my mercenary? Let me get my mercenary back. And there you go. So it's obviously a bot. And a 3. And a 1. And a 2. And a ban. And a banning Bulvin because he's a bot. Bot. Banning a Bulvin. Report Bulvin. Boop. Spams, scams, bots, or tampering. Bot. Artwork sales bot. Submit report. Done. Bye, Bulvin. Am I going to play the new D2R season? Of course I am. I already have the stream scheduled and everything for like everybody to see. It's scheduled and up there on YouTube an hour before the launch, which is, I believe, at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard on June 20th. So we will be able to hop in together. Like, if you're playing on Discord, you can play with me. If you're not on Discord, well, you can watch. And what build? I already announced it. I'm going to be doing a new version of, well, the first version ever that I actually do of Sanic the Hoojag. Oh, Sanic the Hoojag. Hoojag. Sometimes I think my Merc deliberately hides from monsters. It's great. He's so useful. Nah, it's a tactic they do. Like, the bots all have, like, a script that they're reading from. Their script basically goes something like this: Hi, hello, how are you? I'm fine. How are you? I'm fine. Do you like artwork? Because I'm an artist. No, not really. Can I show you my portfolio? No. Here's my portfolio. Would you like to purchase some artwork? I see you run a YouTube channel. Yeah. Oh, your banner and your artwork is really bad. And your profile picture could use some work. Do you want me to work on those and help you and make a new profile banner and picture for you? It's really sad that your YouTube channel doesn't get the views that it normally should get. Like, maybe if with a better banner and YouTube channel and profile picture, you'll do better. It's literally the same script every single one of them uses. I swear it's an AI program. What's up, Carlo? Oh my god, I'm tired of bleeding to death. I convinced you to hire me? Okay. I should be a part of Lowered Expectations. Well, I only got one leg and one arm and one eye. Well, I'm still a good guy. A war stave. Oh my god, I'm tired of bleeding. Poison coming out of every orifice. Oh, I'm tired of bleeding. With poison coming out of everywhere. I am tired of bleeding. With poison coming out of every hole. Oh, I'm tired of bleeding. With poison coming out of every hole. I mean, this is advice that I'll give pretty much anybody in any kind of service industry. Like, if I am hiring you, it is because I don't have the time to do it myself, okay? This is a very important thing, and this is something that a lot of you in the service industry need to know. So if you're in any kind of service industry, it doesn't matter what kind of service industry you're in. If you're in a car wash industry, if you're in a art industry, if you're making custom toothpicks, like, it really doesn't matter, like, what you're doing. What matters is that I could do what you're doing myself. And in most cases, I can do what you're doing myself. I am a very talented individual. Not everybody is extremely talented, but I am very talented. I can draw, I can write, I can read, I can make my own artwork, I can make my own chainmail, I can make my own jewelry, I can create things. I can go out in the backyard and smelt metal and pour it into shapes and shape it into the things that I desire. I have made shackles, chains, all sorts of various objects in my lifetime. I can fix my car, I can do anything that I want to. If I'm paying you, okay, if I'm paying you money to do something for me, I don't want to do it myself. This is very important, okay? If I'm paying you to do something, then I don't want to have to micromanage you. I don't want to have to go in there and tell you every single thing that needs to be done. Like, if I'm contracting you for artwork, I don't want to have to go in there and be like, okay, I need it this color, and I want you to make sure that this chinchilla is here, and I want to make sure that you have a picture of me there, and I want me to have the mustache, and I want to make sure that my hair is a specific way, and I want to make sure that I'm wearing this specific shirt. If I'm micromanaging you to that degree, then I might as well do it myself. Okay? So, like, one of the things that I value the most in the service industry of any kind is you need to do it your damn self. Okay? Yes, minor amounts of input from me are required, but if I'm holding your hand the entire way like a child to the bathroom and wiping your ass for you, I'm not paying you jack diddly. Ginger's second kink reveal. My kinks. But it's such a simple thing. It's such an obvious thing, and I don't know why people don't understand it. Chains, shackles, redheads. Now, the shackle was for one of my nephew's projects. He had like a project at school where he was doing some sort of thing like I can't remember what it was. Like they had to make something that signified like a specific thing, and he wanted to make a shackle, so we made a shackle. I freaking poured that jank out of aluminum, cut it, shaped it, drilled holes in it. It was pretty good. I'm pretty sure I could find a picture of it. Hold on. You guys want to see the shackle? Boom, 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 boom. There you go. Here's the shackle, boys. That's the shackle that I made. Poured that jank out of aluminum myself, cut it, shaped it. It actually has a hinge. It moves. Has a freaking padlock on it and a big ass freaking chain. I'll shackle you to the wall. I'll shackle you to the water heater. Don't test me, boy. Don't test me, boy. Womp, 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 womp. See these lines right here? This is a foam. So basically what we did was we stacked multiple layers of a foam that melts essentially and turns into air or like a gas when it's exposed to hot temperatures. We use this to actually make the shape. And then like so these lines right here are the separation of the foam. I could have shined it up better. Honestly, it wasn't my project, so I was trying to let him do some of the work. Start my OnlyFans with pics like that. What, some aluminum shackles? People want to see some aluminum shackles? Exactly. As Vicious said, but as someone in the service industry chef, outside of knowing allergies and the basics of what someone wants, I hate when they try to micromanage. At that point, it's like, why not just cook it yourself? I mean, I agree. Like, I mean, you should be able to give somebody a simple order and they fulfill the rest. Like, it shouldn't be that complicated. Like, if I walk up to a chef and I'm like, hey, can you make me a hamburger, ketchup only, cheese, you know, like that should be it. Like, and then the chef makes the burger. Like, unfortunately, I don't do that. You know why? Because I like my burgers a specific way. Like, every time I end up getting a burger at a restaurant, it ends up looking like this. I mean, let me see if I can show you what it looks like. Yeah, that's about the breadth of what I usually end up with. Here we go. There's a picture of it. This is what I usually end up with. Like a burger that's literally like thicker than my finger, like is tall. Like with a piece of bread and a bun on the top, and it's so thick you can't even like put it in your mouth. That's what she said. And literally, like it's like undercooked on the inside because it's so thick nobody can cook it properly. Like you make a freaking burger that thick, you know what's gonna happen? Like the inside of it's gonna be raw and wriggling, and that's exactly what happens like 90% of the time. Whenever anybody gives me a burger like this, it's freaking raw and it's wriggling, and like it's disgusting. So like that's why I don't even order burgers at restaurants anymore. Like it's not something I'm interested in. Like my opinion, my personal opinion, burgers should be thin. They cook better that way. You can make sure that it's evenly cooked throughout instead of it being like burnt on the outside and then like undercooked on the inside. Like if you use a thin patty, and if you want a lot of meat on your burger, giggity, you can put multiple thin patties on your burger. Like you don't have to have like this big giant thick patty that like is undercooked on the inside. Like the thinner the patty, the better it cooks, in my opinion. And that's just the truth of the matter. Smash burgers, exactly. Smash burgers is where it's at. Like that's exactly what you should be looking for is a flat, thin burger that you can cook evenly throughout, so it has the same flavor texture throughout the entire burger. And like, but most of the time when you go to like restaurants and stuff like that, this isn't what you get. You get like disgusting, super thick, like 3-inch tall burgers where like the consistency of the burger is like nowhere near the same throughout the entire bite. Like you take one bite on the outside and it's okay, and then you take like another bite on the inside and it's basically raw on the inside. And you're like, oh, this is nice. Hey, look, a heart carver. That's worth some money, I think, at least, because Grimward is on there, which means it's 35K in the bank, like every single time. 3 thin patties with cheese layers. Yes, that's really good. Smash burgers, I think, is the ultimate like evolution in burgers. I think once we got to smash burgers, we've hit like the ultimate evolution of burger technology. I actually watched this video. I don't know why I watched it. Don't ask me why I watched it. It was a video on burgers, and the guy literally like was going through like the evolution of burgers from like the dawn of time, and he talked about like the first burger like in Germany or something, and like eventually like where it went from there, it turned into like a different kind of burger, and like I was watching the evolution of burgers, and then we got to the smash burgers, and I was like, oh my god, yes, the smash burger. I was like, this is where it's at. Like thin, flat, well cooked, evenly cooked, not burnt, not overdone, not underdone. Like it's like the perfect consistency. It's like you get the best of all the worlds. As you don't have a burnt burger and you don't have a raw burger. You get like just the perfectly cooked burger with like the rough edges and stuff. Oh yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, yeah, nah. I said a burger, not a meatball. Exactly. Like there should be somebody there who's like, look, I ordered a burger, not a meatball. Like one giant meatball. I'm getting you guys hungry. Good, good. Get yourself some burgers today. I'm not like the biggest fan of fast food burgers, but Burger King's burgers tend to be flatter and more well cooked than a lot of the other companies. There is a company that's better than Burger King though, like by far. I'm talking about fast food places, not restaurants and like small mom and pop shops and stuff like that. Um, it's called Freddy's. I'm not sure if you've ever been to Freddy's. I think it's called Freddy's anyway. I'm not sure if a lot of people have like um, Freddy's around them. I don't know how many places have Freddy's, but Freddy's serves a burger and it's absolutely delicious. It's a really thin smash burger. It's better than Burger King's. And it's like multiple smash burgers on top of each other, the patties, and they're really good. They're so thin, they're almost like Philly cheesesteaks, like sort of, but they're thicker than that, and absolutely delicious. If you haven't been to Freddy's, if you see a Freddy's one day, like, and you're driving by, like, grab one of their burgers. They're pretty good. They also have these things. They're called cheese curds. They are absolutely delicious. I really don't even know exactly what they are. They're just like breaded cheese, and then they fry them or something, and they're absolutely delicious. And yeah, yeah. So when you go by Freddy's, if you see a Freddy's, like pick up yourself some cheese curds, and grab a nice smash burger, like over at Freddy's. They're freaking delicious. Exactly, exactly. And that's why I don't like ordering burgers at restaurants, because you never end up with like a well-proportioned burger. You just end up with a meatball on a bun. I mean, if that's what you want is a meatball on a bun, then I guess ordering them at restaurants is great. Ooh, a fool's mod with no damage. Unfortunate. Yep. Looking for 100,000. That's my goal. I need my plaque. You guys got to help me get my plaque. I deserve a YouTube plaque. I need a plaque, and I want a plaque, and I need a plaque. We saw Freddy's on Elm Street? Oh no, not on Elm Street. That's where you get murdered. You know, it's funny because like Freddy Krueger is the one like slasher villain that like you guys shouldn't ever be afraid of. Like you guys do realize that like Freddy doesn't come after adults, right? Like he doesn't come after adults. So like in the grand scheme of things of like slasher villains that you should be afraid of, Freddy is at the bottom of the list, probably below everybody else, because Freddy's motive is to go after the children of the people who basically like ended up getting him murdered or whatever, right? So like he doesn't go after adults. He only goes after the children who believe in him basically, right? So in most of the movies if you pay attention, only the children are really like or the teenagers essentially are really ever at any kind of danger from Freddy Krueger. Because Freddy Krueger never goes after the adults. He never goes after anybody that doesn't believe in him. He only goes after the kids of the people that basically hurt him, right? So, like, you're probably not going to get, even if Freddy was real, you're probably not dying from Freddy. Like, Stephen King's It goes after people's fears, and children are more easy to scare, but I don't think that necessarily insulates adults from it. I think adults could potentially be targets as well. I'm not really entirely sure how it functions. I know he goes after the fears of people, and kids are generally easier to scare, which is probably why he focuses on kids more than anything else. No Freddy's in Nevada. That's unfortunate. Maybe they go by a different name. Like, was a Freddy's franchise like different? You know how Hardee's is? I think Hardee's goes by like Carl's Jr. in like other places. Freddy's frozen custard steak burgers. Franchising. Trying to see if they go by any other names. Locations. I mean, here's a location finder if you guys want to like punch in your number. I don't know. It's a dust run. That's worth some Monet. I don't know why I thought of a stupid comeback. I was like, man, you got more hang-ups than a hall closet. Five Guys is so expensive. Kind of overrated, to be perfectly honest, especially for how much they charge. Dude, Five Guys charges like, you go in there for one person and try and get some food, and it's like 30 bucks, 40 bucks for like one person, and all you did was get like a 6-inch sub and some French fries. Their prices are astronomical. That's what they are. That's where you go to eat for the price of Five Guys. That's where you. That's why they're calling it Five Guys. It's because you go there and you pay the price of Five Guys for one meal. That's the that's the rub. They're like, all right, that'll be 55.63. Like, I just got a drink, a sub, and some French fries. Like, what's my opinion on Lightning Strike? It got really good when they fixed the next hit delay stuff. You can spam the crap out of it and get tons of damage now. Used to be kind of bad because it would cancel itself out. So one of the main problems with the ability was that Lightning Strike could essentially cancel itself out by filling up all the available slots. Like, imagine you have 10 monsters, right? And you fire off a Lightning Strike, and it's bouncing back and forth between the 10 monsters. Well, if you fire off a second one, you could potentially consume more of the monsters. And if there's no monster left that doesn't have a Lightning Strike active on it, well, then what happens is it just kills all the Lightning Strikes. Well, they fixed that. So, like, the Lightning Strikes don't interfere with each other anymore. They do still have to travel between targets, but, like, you can have freaking 10, 20 Lightning Strikes active at the same time if you can spam it fast enough. There might be an entire build around Lightning Strike, honestly, which is literally just attacking as fast as humanly possible to get as many Lightning Strikes off as humanly possible, to do as much damage as humanly possible. I don't know exactly what, like, the max breakpoint is on Lightning Strike for IAS, but, like, I'm assuming that there definitely is a really fun build there around spamming Lightning Strike. I mean, I've already made builds that utilize Lightning Strike in them, like, for instance, my my Infinity Jav, you know, like Spear Amazon. I basically just put an Infinity on the Spear Amazon and just spam Lightning Strike and Charge Strike. But, like, I'm assuming there's probably a whole nother build where literally you're just spamming Lightning Strike as fast as possible to get, like, the optimal effect from it. I've already put mosaics into shame on many characters. My freaking proc Amazon is like cancer to behold. All she does is spam abilities and cause tons of procs to happen all over the entire screen until there's legitimately like nothing left on the screen that doesn't have some sort of spam on it. You guys should see my fireworks build. I did a legitimate version of the fireworks build, and it's absolutely stupid. Oh, spitters. Spit 'em, boys. Alright, we need to find the waypoint. That was the goal. Although by the time we do that, Terror Zone's going to be over. It's like these grotesque demons are fairly resistant. A soul rune. We'll take it easy.
great helm, and a heavy crossbow. The great helm is the deuce, and the heavy crossbow mildly okay. 146% enhanced isn't bad. It doesn't have any increased attack speed on it though, and heavy crossbows are just awful without increased attack speed. They drop off loot.
Good evening.
Flawless diamonds in the air. Hey, we found it. Gimme the loot. Gimme the loot before I toot. Gimme the loot. Gimme the loot before I toot. That's actually a real song I sung. Gimme the loot. Gimme the loot before I toot. Oh, you're trying to do like the optimal like llama SC speedrun style like character creation, huh? It's not generally how I like to play myself, JPM, but I mean it works. It's a valid strategy. Like I think it's a bit boring to be honest, but like play this build until X level, respec, play this build until X level, respec, play this build until X level, respec. Like, finally make the character at X level. Like, it's very formulaic and it's very boring to play that way, in my opinion. But, I mean, you are playing hardcore, so planning out your run a little bit might not necessarily hurt, because, you know, dying would be a bad thing. But, I mean, yeah, it's a valid strategy. Play Holy Fire until a certain level, which is usually Nightmare difficulty Act 4. Like, that's usually the level that you stop playing Holy Fire. Nightmare difficulty Act 4 is when the majority of fire immunes show up, and as soon as the majority of fire immunes show up, your Holy Fire is essentially useless, and you have to respec. There's no choice. And at that point, I mean, you can go to other builds. There's other potential options, like Holy Fire doesn't work anymore, but there's other ways that you could potentially advance. Doesn't necessarily have to be a hammered in at that point. You can do other things. Some people even wait until much later before they do the hammered in, because quite honestly, hammered in like sucks balls. Like a lot of people won't tell you this because you know they're all like all over the end game hammered in. You know, the high level one that has the Enigma, and he has like the high faster cast equipment, and he's got his Haas or like his various other pieces of equipment, and he's got like a Grief and an Exile on his offhand and all this other stuff, right, for smiting. But like leveling up a Hammerden as a Hammerden is one of the most excruciating things that ever existed in time and space. You will get stuck in so many places, like Maggot Lair trying to get the staff and all sorts of other horrible things. And what they don't tell you is that like Hammerden without faster cast, and Hammerden without an insight, and Hammerden without like huge ways to restore your mana, and Hammerden without basically elite gear is very painful. It's a very painful playthrough. I know, I've done it. And that's why most of the time you won't ever see a Hammerden actually level up as a Hammerden, because it's not a fun build. It's not fun to play. Like it's not even remotely fun early on, because like you can't even use hammers until what is it, like level 26 or something like that. And then even after that, like you don't have the faster cast you need, like you don't have the plus the skills you need, like you don't have the mana recovery that you need, which is also a big thing, like because you're gonna be like chugging down mana like crazy. You know, your lips are gonna be blue for quite some time. You're gonna have them blue lips. Blue lips. Holy Fire is the reason why people do it, is because it's a way better build than Hammerden. Like it's better. It clears things better. Like for basically the entirety of normal difficulty, all the way up to Nightmare Act 3, because Act 4 is where Holy Fire basically becomes obsolete, because like 90% of the monsters in Act 4 are immune to fire, which completely eliminates Holy Fire from an option. But until you get to Act 4 Nightmare, Holy Fire will decimate pretty much everything you come across. And it does so at an exceedingly fast rate, way better than hammers ever could hope to do in the same regard. And the only reason people switch off Holy Fire is because, well, it no longer is useful. Like, once you get to the point where all the fire immunes start showing up, well, you can't do any damage to them, can you? And so Holy Fire basically goes the way of the dinosaur. Yep, Mama ate your subs. I mean, there's a lot of builds that you could potentially do in hardcore. I mean, if you really want to do Hammerden, then by all means, don't let me stop you. But you might put some research into this build, which is actually a very, very powerful build. It's called North Star Smiter. It's one that I designed, but apparently a lot of people tell me it already existed. Like, I mean, you can't make anything in Diablo 2 without somebody coming on to tell you that it already existed somewhere. This is the North Star Smiter. The North Star Smiter is a build that actually works the entire way through the game. Like, it does actually function from level 1 all the way up to level, you know, like what Ubers, basically, like when you're doing like Uber Tristram and whatnot like that. And I've actually done it on a full solo self-found Players 8 run, which I can give you that too if you're interested. Hold on, not that one. This one. This one, there we go. And then SSF Paladin, here it is right here. So this is my solo self-found run on Players 8 with a North Star Smiter. Basically using budget tier equipment, like nothing all that amazing. And I was able to not only clear the entire game all the way to Hell difficulty, but I was also able to do Ubers on this character. Now, I did die, but this is with a Players 8 restricted solo self-found, right? And I have a feeling that if I was in Players 1, I would never have died. But this entire run was restricted to Players 8 the entire way through, including Ubers. And I was able to complete Ubers on solo self-found Players 8, which was stressful. Let me just say that. It was stressful on Players 8 with solo self-found budget equipment. And I was using the budgetist equipment that ever existed. Let me tell you what, it was not it was not amazing. Thing is you don't really need Astrions. You can also get away with either Heaven's Light, or you can get away with I linked the Druid one instead. Dang it. My bad. Hold on. History. I did link the Druid one. Dang it. I did not mean to link the Druid one. I meant to link the Paladin one. Why did I link the Druid one? I'm stupid. I did link the Druid one. There it is, the Paladin one right there. There you go. There's the Paladin. And there's the Uber run right there. That's the Uber difficulty. Cow King set? Cow King set's amazing these days. It's very good for a melee magic finder, but like also good luck finding the Cow King set at all. Now I link the Barbarian. Don't play with me. You's playing with me. I'm gonna fight you. Start fighting people in the streets. He's just trolling me, Elemist. He's trolling me. That's what he's doing. He's trolling. He's doing the trolls. He do the trolley. He naughty nice the rolly. He do the trolley, and I do not like the trolley. Ban him for his whole life. You have been banned for 7,352 years and 16 days. Cody? What was that, buddy? Oh, he's having a nightmare while he's asleep. Cute. I heard him whining, and then I looked down and he's asleep. I'm not sure what he's whining about. Oh, I forgot the best part about those horrible bot artists. They'll contact you about, like, doing some work, and, like, the rates they give you are the worst rates I've ever seen in my life. They're like, oh, yeah, they're like, sure, let me see what you do, right? Let's say you contract them. You're like, yeah, let me see what you can do. Like, give me, like, a banner. And they're like, okay, one banner will be $450 US, and if you'd like extra artwork on that banner, it would be an extra $100 US, bringing you up to a total of $550 US. Would that be cash or card? And I'm like, $550 for a banner. I was like, I can go on Fiverr and get one for $10. Like, and they're like, well, the artwork on Fiverr isn't as good as ours. And I'm like, judging by the portfolio that you just sent me, I think the artwork on Fiverr is better than yours. Cody's having a nightmare. Cody's having a nightmare. Come to the light, Cody. Cody, snack'ems. Snack'ems, Cody. Snack'ems. Cody, what about snack'ems? They got snack'ems? Oh, no, Cody, there's snack'ems there. You gotta get the snack'ems. Cody, they got snacks. They got treats, and they got snacks, and you gotta get the snacks. I'm trying to direct his dreaming while he's in the dream. He's having a nightmare. I'm trying to insert snacks into his nightmare. Like he's like in a Scooby-Doo adventure, and all of a sudden a Scooby snack appears in front of his head, and he's like, "Wait a minute, he's like Scooby snack." I actually do need an artist for a project. That it's an interesting idea that I have. Oh my God! Finally. Finally, a set armor I can put on my Merc. What is this? We did it, boys. I think we have the mask, too. What's the 2-piece bonus? Let's go check the 2-piece bonus, see if it's any good. See, I knew saving the Cathin's mask would be a good idea. Might come in handy, so we can actually have a set bonus. 152 defense, 15 to 20 fire damage, and 16% regenerate mana. Attacker takes damage of 5. I mean, the defense is kind of nice, which could help potentially keep him alive. He does lose resistances by taking off their Infernal Cranium. I could potentially upgrade the Cathin's Visage as well, which is definitely within my power to do, as well as upgrade the Cathin's Mesh to give him some more defenses. Which, actually is kind of like a decent idea at this particular point, since his gear is so crap. Let's do it. Let's do it. Was it Shale Towel P Diamond? Shale. Do I even have a Shale? Are you kidding me? I got 2 Foul runes, but I don't have a Shale rune? Am I blind? I think I'm blind. It's got to be a Shale. I've got 2 Lems and I got 1 Lem and 2 Foul runes, but I've got no Shales. This is stupid. Well, it looks like nothing's getting upgraded then. I even have an IO. That's crazy. I haven't found a single Shale the entire time. That's nutso. Oh well, he's got some defense now, I guess. Can I tell you how to get the sword out of the stone in Octopath Traveler 2? I haven't played Octopath Traveler 2, Mewtwo. I played Octopath Traveler 1 when it came out. I actually really enjoyed that game. I kind of wish I'd played that on stream because that one was really fun. But that was before I started my YouTube channel, I think. I don't know anything about Octopath Traveler 2. Wish I did. Maybe we'll have to take a day and play it. I'll have to get it for my Nintendo Switch. That's where I played Octopath Traveler 1. And I would love to play it, Mewtwo. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'll get like 5 viewers, and one of them will be you. But but I would like to play it. Why my phone beepies? My phone do the beepy beeps. Uh-huh. 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 Okay. Chinchilla food is arriving. Had to order some more chinchilla food for the chaunchies. Octopath is an underrated Mewtwo. Octopath was hailed as one of the greatest, like, JRPGs to come out in, like, freaking over a decade. I think the only thing that's even come close to Octopath Traveler 1's release was freaking Expedition 33. Like, when Octopath Traveler came out, it was hailed with fanfare. Octopath Traveler 2 is also hailed with fanfare. What's my gear like now? Poopies. I got a bunch of poopies on. Don't talk about my poopy gear. I'm trying my best, okay? I'm a trying man, alright? And the trying man is the best kind of man, because he keeps on trying. Sanic the Hooge Hag. Sanic the Hooge Hag. Doot doot dat doot dee doot doo. I need to get like a messed up Sega logo for the start of the stream on like on the 20th. Just start off with like a really messed up version of the Sega logo. It'd be like Songa and have like a Songa logo. Bow. Bow, 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 bow. My pail has a slow of 64% now. Impressive. Sanic the Huge Hag. Wait, not a huge hag, a hooge hag. Come on now, don't be like insulting my boy now. Stabby, 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 stabby. What's the character like? Well, he's a knockoff of Sonic the Hedgehog. So Sonic the Hedgehog is, well, Sonic the Hedgehog. Knocked off. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Fast, 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 gotta go fast. Fast. Sonic the Huge Hog, dang. Not Sonic the Huge Hog. Oh man. I think you guys are watching the porno edition. Like I think you guys might want to turn off the 18 plus rating on your Sonic the Hedgehog there, because you guys are getting Sonic the Huge Hog over there, which is definitely not that is not the PG-13 version. Sonic the Huge Hog in Chaos Piercing. I don't know, Huge Hog works too. I mean, Flawless Gemerald. Embossed plate of worth money? You know, just for the record, Radaman is one twisted son of a... He's a twisted son of a bee. Alright, he's twisted. He's twisted like a filament wire for a filament. Dang it, I'm out of manta. Oh, I got 2 mana potions. Hit Radaman in his butthole. Why is T-Lash just like stuck in a corner? He got stuck in a corner over there somehow. Wah.
Welcome back.
Wah wah. Wah wah. Wah wah. It's basically everything. Like, is it a Blaze Sorceress? Yes. Is it a Frenzy Barbarian? Yes. Is it a Vigor Paladin? Yes. Is it a Burst of Speed Assassin? Yes. If it has to do with speed, Sonic the Hedgehog is interested. Sonic the Hedgehog is interested in all speed. He is Sonic the Hedgehog after all, and he needs to go fast. Gotta go fast. Anything that has to do with fast, he's interested in. So he's gonna be fast. He's gonna be very fast. Oh no, he's gonna be much faster than a regular barbarian. I've already tested it multiple times, so I already know the specifics. When I say fast, I mean like super duper fast. I mean like faster than a 200% faster cast rate spamming teleport sorceress fast. That's how fast I mean. You need a new definition for the word fast. I already got a thumbnail and everything. I got Sonic the Hedgehog hair. You guys ain't seen my my thumbnail with Sonic the Hedgehog hair? Yeah, check it out. I got Sonic hair. Sonic hair. My bad. Sonic. That's not Sonic hair. That's Sonic hair. Okay, it's not to be associated with that loser Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, this is Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, Sonic the Hooge Hag. Alright, that's Sanik's hair. Alright, even got the Chaos Gemerald on the ear there. Tiger Strike melee sin. I mean, Tiger Strike is good for physical damage. Doot. Why am I looking at stuff? I can't use any of those blue items. Why am I looking at things? Stabby, 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 stab, stab, stabby, stab, 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 stabby, stabby, stab, stabby, 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 stab. Boobies. Dookie Palookies. That's all he gave me. Dookie Palookies. Bum, 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 bum. It sounds like you're basically just making a worse version of this character right here, Heil, which is Big Bada Boom. Big Bada Boom is also pretty much the same thing you're creating, except essentially better in every way. Big Bada Boom. Big Bada Bada Boom. Big Bada Boom. Big Bada Boom. Big Bada Boom. Big bada boom, big boom bada bing, boom beam boom boom boom, big boom bada boom. Let's go do some big boom bada boom. Gonna boom some big boom bada boom. Bibbidi boom. Come on down and bibbidi boom. A 1, 2, 3 and boom. A 1, 2, 3 boom. Big bada boom. Big bada boom. Big bada boom. Big bada boom, big bada boom, big bada boom, boom, big bada boom. Kick 'em in the eye, my friend. That is what we do, my friend. And they all fall down and they die. Boom, boom, big bada boom, boom, big bada boom, boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom, ba boom. Ba-boom, 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 ba-boom. Boom. 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 Look at that damage. Look at that beautiful damage right there. See that? Boom. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look. Oh, look. See the little guy? Watch. Boom. That's why I call him Big Bada Boom. Because he goes, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, boom. And everything dies. Boom. 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 I mean, yeah, you can kick individual targets, but I mean, that's going to take you forever to kill anything. Doesn't matter how much damage you do with Tiger Strike. Tiger Strike only works for like 3 times, and then you got to rebuild it, so it's not really all that amazing. The way that this works is it works with Dragon Tail. Dragon Tail is an ability that basically does physical and fire damage at the same time. So when you hit a target, Dragon Tail explodes and takes your physical damage and turns it into fire damage. And essentially allows you to apply your physical damage as fire damage through the way that it functions. So setting it up properly, you can literally have a character that does a huge amount of physical damage in one hit. Boom. And then the fire damage explosion comes in afterward and does a huge amount of fire damage also on top of that. So you end up with both. So you can have a huge number of monsters surrounding you like this, and then you just go pop, and they all die. It's basically the best way to set up a physical damage character, like if you're just going like a pure fizz like character in general. Dragon Tail is very unique as well and requires a lot of specialized equipment to make it function properly. Pirate Club. It's the poopies. This build seems nice for a video. Yeah. Except I don't like doing build videos. Like, I have a special hatred for build videos, even when I make them myself. Pop. What's up, punks? Come on, gather round. Everybody come to town, and then we're going to pop. And then you're going to pop. Do I got a mosaic? Yeah, I have a mosaic on this just to make it like easier to deal with the charges, because the charges are really annoying to build up on a regular basis. Makes it easier to deal with the charges so you can kick more times without utilizing the like multiple kicks. But the silly thing is that even without mosaic, it doesn't matter. Like, you can take mosaic out of it, you can put in like a phoenix weapon, like a sword or something, and it would probably perform better with a phoenix weapon versus the mosaic claw. The mosaic claw is really only there for convenience. That's pretty much the only thing it does. It just conveniently allows me to have like less charge building and more damage output, which is something that I'm interested in. Like, otherwise, without the mosaic claw, you would have to go like, you know, 1, 2, 3, and then you would just go like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But with the way that I currently have it with the mosaic claw, I can do like 1, 2, 3. I mean, as it is right now, though, like, my damage is so good now that I don't even really need them. I don't even really need it, do I? Actually, like, I'm actually paying attention to the monsters dying, and I'll walk up to a pack, and the pack just disintegrates. It is nice, however, to have the full damage, though. So, like, as each charge of Tiger Strike disintegrates, like, it decreases the overall damage of your Tiger Strike pretty dramatically, because I'm running max Tiger Strike at the moment at level 30, which is 2,040 damage, right? So if you look at my damage without Tiger Strike, it's only 8,703. And then if you go over here and you make one charge, you will use... I'm using Arcane's Valor with a Fire Facet. If you use, like, one charge, you'll see the damage go up pretty dramatically, but, like, it doesn't go up that much, like, for one charge. And then 2 charges is okay, but it's not as good as 3 charges, and so forth and so on. And so, like, you kind of want to build, like, the full charges, right? So, like, you go 1, you get 22k. You go 2, and you get 35k. But 3 is 48k, right? So, having the one mosaic allows you to keep that 48k for longer, because it lets you not, like, burn up charges so quickly. So you can get multiple kicks off at 48k, as opposed to having only one kick at 48k, one kick at 35k, and one kick at 22k or whatever. Like, it's just convenience, and it's nice. It's a nice, convenient thing to have, just so that you can fire off multiple charges at full power instead of having to only fire off one charge at full power. Gives you a little bit more consistency in the overall, like damage output, as opposed to the damage output constantly declining with each attack. Is Phoenix 300% damage working? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it works for kicks. Yeah, you can see it. Like, I take it off, I go 44k. But you have to have Mosaic for this build. Like, that's how it works. You can't put a second Mosaic in the build. So the way that this build functions is it functions by applying physical damage to the target, which is then converted into elemental damage, fire damage, after it hits the target, okay? So the conversion process is a very specific process. I talked about this another day, so I apologize for being redundant here, but basically how it functions is like this, all right? You have a physical damage, so let's say I'm doing 48,000 damage, all right? So if my damage is 48,000 damage, then that has to go through the physical resistance of the monster, okay? And that physical resistance could be anything. Could be 50%, could be 100%, they could be immune. And if they're immune, you do 0 damage, all right? So that's why I have the Atmoscarabon, because the Atmoscarabon basically allows me to apply amp, which is negative 100%, right? So your average monster is at 50% physical resistance, and I reduce that down to negative 50%. right? Which means that I get a bonus in the amount of damage that the monster is taking. So 48,000 then becomes, what is that? Plus 48,000 plus 50% is 72,000, all right? The 72,000 is then applied as fire damage after the monster takes the initial physical damage hit. That fire damage then has to go through the fire resistance of the monster, and you need large amounts of negative fire res to counteract the fire resistance of the monster as well, otherwise they take no damage from the fire explosion. So not only do you need negative physical resistance, but you also need negative fire resistance, which is why I have, what is that, 28, 38, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43. So I've got negative 43% fire resistance here. All right. So if you have your average monster that has 50% fire resistance and you subtract that 43 from that, they still have essentially what, like 7% resistance left over, which subtracts from my 7,200. If you could apply negative resistance in other ways, like I said, a Phoenix Claw here, or a Phoenix weapon here would be better than the Mosaic Claw, because you could add another negative 28 to this list, bringing them down into the negative, right? So let's assume that we did another 28, right? So if you had another 28 here, you could take that from 43 plus 28 is 71. So your average monster with a 50% fire resistance minus 71 is negative 21, right? Which basically means that now we have 7,200 gets multiplied again. So you end up with 7,200 plus 21%, which then brings us to 87,120 damage for our fire explosion. So the way that this build works is you have to have a large amount of negative physical resistance, and you need a large amount of negative fire resistance, and you also need to be running both the fire and the physical sunder at the same time. So you need to be running both of these. Where do I dump my extra skill points? What do you mean? I got maxed out Fade. I got maxed out Fade, and I got maxed out Shadow Warrior. Well, not maxed out, but close to maxed out. I also have maxed out Claw Mastery. Although if I was using a weapon here, I wouldn't bother with Claw Mastery, and that could go somewhere else. Actually, I don't even think Claw Mastery is really even required for this build. I think if I were to redo this build, I'd probably take Claw Mastery out. Yeah. I guess Claw Mastery helps with the building of the charges, which I think is the main thing. I think, yeah, it helps with the building of the charges, which is really where the main issue is, because you need attack rating to actually hit the target so that you're building the charges. And if you're not building the charges, well then, like, that's a problem. I can't remember, like... I think that was one of the reasons why also I didn't end up going with a Phoenix weapon, because it would have made it so that I had, like, very little opportunity to actually build the charges. It would have made it much more difficult to build the charges. This character's insane, by the way. I think it's better than a Mosaic Sin, to be perfectly honest. Like, it does enough damage that literally you can teleport into a pack, kill the pack, and then teleport onto a new pack. Like, boop. Boop. 1, 2, 3. I need a big pack of monsters to give me your head. I gonna kick you right in the face, you're dead. Kicking and a blowing you up. Don't know what to tell you, better give me your cup. I guess Arcane Sanctuary is not really the best place to teleport around and kick murder things, but... Boom. Boom. Anyway, back to my game. You guys are distracting me. Trying to play my Amazon. my calzone. And you guys are distracting me. Seen that build with Lacerator? Lacerator's okay, I guess. You'd have trouble building the charges, which is the main problem. I don't necessarily envy anyone who plays that build without a mosaic because it makes it much more difficult to build and maintain your charges, which is the main important part of actually making that build function. You need the charges. Besides, I had absolutely no problem with that build. It did everything. Like, there was nothing the build didn't do. So, like, I didn't need more, like, casts of amplify damage because I had plenty of casts of amplify damage. The Atmoscarab alone pretty much fixes that entirely. Like, you never have to worry about amplify damage when you have Atmoscarab on. You're constantly attacking things and you constantly have amplify damage proccing. Like, it's not really a big deal. Between that and the Bone Break, which you want to be using on a regular basis, like, you never want to take the Bone Break out of your inventory for that build. The Bone Break and the Atmoscarab pretty much handle the physical side of things 100%. And then all you have to worry about really for your equipment is the fire damage side of things. So you have to worry about reducing the fire resistance of the monster. Once you get the negative fire res and Atmoscarab and a Bone Break, like, that character comes together so beautifully. It's like night and day. I can't remember which ladder season I made that character on. I did it on one of the ladder seasons, and it was just, like, ridiculously fun. Frickin' champions. Stop beating up my Mert. Stop beating him up. You're always being rude to him. Like, what did he do to you? He didn't do nothing to you. He just shot a couple lightning bolts at you and they tickled. Like, you told me it felt good. That's what I heard. I heard you say it. What kind of experiment am I doing? What kind of experiment? What do you mean? I experiment with stuff on a daily basis. Like, what are we experimenting on today? What are we doing today, Pinky? We're trying to take over the world. No, off-weapon enhancement doesn't work with Vengeance. Only on-weapon enhancement works with Vengeance, my friends. Only on-weapon enhancement. I always thought a Vengeance Sorceress could be interesting. Could be an interesting build. I think the Vengeance probably only works on the Sorceress. That's probably the only character that would actually be able to use Kingslayer. The problem is that none of the characters have access to the synergies on the Vengeance ability. And the only character that has access to anything even remotely resembling synergies is the Sorceress. The Sorceress has access to her masteries. So you could potentially create a character like the Sorceress running Vengeance with all the masteries and try and run that like that way. I don't really know exactly how effective it would be, but like you could try and run the numbers and see how it ends up. My assumption is it probably wouldn't be very good, even with the synergies, even with the masteries. So even if you put 20 points into every single mastery, like it probably still wouldn't be amazing. Ma 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 boom 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 boom. Man, I barely even broke 1,000 damage with a combat shrine. That's pretty sad for level 20 Impale. Oh, it 100% would be monotonous single target. Absolutely. I mean, there's things you could do to try and make it a little bit more fun. Obviously, it's a sorceress, so, you know, you'd be able to enchant yourself, first off, so you'd get full enchant. Any melee sorceress has enchant. Like, there's no reason. There's absolutely no reason not to do enchant if you're going to be a melee sorceress. And then on top of that, you also have masteries, so you can potentially go with other stuff alongside of your vengeance sorceress. Like, for instance, a really easy option would be like dual dreams. Like, just theory crafting a character in my head right now of a sorceress that could potentially, like, utilize Kingslayer. It would probably look something like this. So you would probably looking at max cold, fire, and lightning mastery. Max enchant. You would also be looking at was my brain not working all of a sudden? My brain is broken. I got the broken brain. You're probably looking at least 1 point T-Storm, because T-Storm is just a useful thing that you can have like active as well. At least 1 point, obviously, one of the cold armors. You could also potentially utilize, of course, dreams, which I think is a really good option. So you could do dual dreams with your setup, which would be synergized, obviously, by the lightning mastery. So you could do dual dreams with your vengeance setup. That way you'd have more lightning damage. You'd also get your fire damage from enchant. So you'd have fire and you'd have lightning, and then vengeance would provide you with the cold as well as a decent amount of fire and lightning as well on its own. And then you know, you could also like have other things going on. There's energy shield if you wanted to play with energy shield, or you could not do energy shield. So like ES or no ES. It doesn't really matter, like whichever one you want there. And then of course you could also do static field, which is very effective. So you could be spamming static field as well, like in between attacks, which obviously gives you a lot. I mean, it would be a passable character. The main problem with that character would be defensive, like trying to actually stay alive. Yes, you do, Agent Smith. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Womp, 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 womp. Kingslayer's main issue is that it sucks for damage. That's its main issue. It has no damage. Like, if you look at Kingslayer, it just doesn't have any damage output. It's the Garbaggio. Garbagians. Eat the poopies. I'm honestly not entirely sure if you'd even get enough damage from the Vengeance ability to really, like, push it over the top of something else that you could potentially use in its place. I really don't know. Like, I do kind of feel like that's one of the issues. One of the issues is literally that, like, you just don't... There's no way to really get a large amount of damage out of Kingslayer. It's not a particularly high damage item. So, like, if you take a look at Kingslayer, Kingslayer has 270% enhanced at its best. Not indestructible. It's also only capable of being made in swords or axes. Axes being a horrible choice because, of course, you know, the fact that they have no durability whatsoever. If you make it in a phase blade, it has no physical damage, which I highly recommend that you do not make it in a phase blade. Which leaves you with only a couple options because there's only a couple 4-socket swords in the entire game. And at that point, it comes down to, like, which 4-socket sword is the best for your specific build. When it comes to Vengeance, you want the highest physical damage weapon that you can get. Speed is a secondary consideration because if you don't have high physical damage, then you don't have any damage at all. So, like, if you take a look at the swords for Ariat Summit, let's look at Ariat Summit's weapons. You definitely do not want a Phase Blade. Phase Blade has the lowest average damage out of every single sword, and it would be the worst option for Vengeance. It has an average damage of 33, which is absolutely terrible. Speed is secondary to its damage output. The problem is that, like, the elemental damage that Vengeance gives is so directly proportional to the weapon that if you don't put it in a high damage weapon, then you're basically just using nothing. Like, you might as well just be swinging a turd for all that the monsters care, because the Phase Blade just doesn't have the average damage output to properly take advantage of the way that Vengeance functions. Attacking faster doesn't mean anything if you're doing no damage. This isn't like like a general, like, elemental damage build where you want to attack faster because your elemental damage doesn't change depending on speed. Because, like, in a lot of cases, if you're doing, like, Holy Shock or Holy Freeze or, like, Holy Fire, those cases, the fire damage is being provided by the ability, or the cold damage is being provided by the ability. It's not being provided by the weapon. In the case of Vengeance, the damage is being provided by the weapon, not the other way around, right? So in this particular case, you definitely want a high damage weapon, and it needs to be 4 sockets. So you're looking at a Conquest Sword, or you're looking at a Mythical Sword. Probably not Mythical Sword, because Mythical Sword has really high requirements. Like, really, really high requirements from what I remember. I think it's like, 147 minimum strength and 124 minimum dex. I think the Conquest Sword is a little bit better. But the average damage on both of them is the same. So, like, you would probably go with the one with the lower requirements, which is the Conquest Sword. The Cryptic Sword is okay. It does have a lower average damage, but it also has a crazy range, which I don't much appreciate. I don't like the crazy range on it. But it is faster than the others by a small degree. So if you're looking for a slightly faster option, the Cryptic Sword is okay. But I do think the Conquest Sword wins. Now, you could potentially make it in a two-handed sword, which is also an option. There's a lot of good two-handed swords, but unfortunately the Sorceress just really isn't good with any of them. Like, they're all pretty trash in terms of, like, her. Now, the Colossus sword has the highest average damage at 91, but good luck trying to get like a really fast attack speed with that. Like, when I say speed doesn't matter with Vengeance, it doesn't really. But, like, if you have no way to increase your speed, it kind of matters if you're using one of the slowest weapons in existence, which the Colossus Sword is pretty damn slow. I mean, you could get some really nice elemental damage out of it. I've done two-handed elemental, like, Vengeance Paladins. But, like, I don't know if a two-handed Sorceress is even a viable option. She's not tanky enough or defensive enough to really, like, pull that off, in my opinion. It depends on what the axes are, like, breakpoint wise for her. The sorceress has some of the worst breakpoints in the game. Like, if you look on all the axes, like, all the characters have fast attack speed with axes, and the sorceress has slower attack speed with every single axe. Like, there's not a single axe that the sorceress is not, like, really slow in. I mean, the same thing for the swords, too, which is, she's not meant to be a melee character, and that's really all there is to it. She's just not meant to be a melee character. But even the two-handed axes have horrible durability. Like, they're not really the greatest either in terms of durability. Like, some of these are in the 30s, and, like, the best one, I think, is, like, the champion axe at 50. And if you look at the swords have about the same durability as well. Like, durability is a problem across the board for all this stuff. It's just, I don't know why all these weapons have such crap durability. I don't know who, Blizzard North, when they were making these weapons, they were like, yeah, let's make a really fast attacking sword with, like, 0 durability. That'll be great. That'll go over well. Yeah, but if you use a two-hander, you lose the dreams. So, I don't really think that's a good option. You're going to lose a lot of elemental damage by losing the dreams. I don't think what you're gaining is going to make up for it either. No, I broke my doohickeys. Another Arctic belts. Man, that guy died like a cartoon character. You gotta see that. That was some cartoon character level stuff there. That was impressive. Mythical's only 3 sockets, yeah, so you can't use mythical. Can you get out of the middle of the monsters, Mr. Merc? Oh, you are a sorcerer, not a melee character. I would really appreciate if you would not melee. But you keep going into melee range and trying to melee monsters. It'd be like if you had a sniper rifle. Bro got a sniper rifle and he's just gonna like walk straight up to you and just like hold the sniper rifle like in melee range and try and shoot you. Like, what's the point of having a sniper rifle if you're gonna go in melee range and like fight somebody with a knife? Like, let me bash you in the head with this sniper rifle. Like you're just looking at him like, you do know that's a long range weapon. It fires from very far away. That's right, always with the custom song freestyles. I like doing that. That's the favorite thing I like to do. I like to sing songs and sing stuff. I like to make up crap and rhyme with fluff. I like chinchillas and I like gaming. And that's why I have a chinchilla cam. Look, there's a chinchilla right there. See him? See him? He's being a chinchilla. He's looking at the camera. He's upset about the camera. He don't like the camera being there. He said it's an invasion of my privacy. He said, and you, sir, are a demon. See, look, he's staring right at the camera. Demon. Surely a merc could use it. Use what? What do they use? Fortitude's a terrible weapon. Terrible, terrible weapon. It's a terrible, terrible thing. It's a terrible, terrible weapon. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Beep 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 beep. I'm not finding a lot of good stuff here. The gods are fickle with me. They are fickle.
It is an honor to serve you.
It does get defense. Has the chilling armor proc on it. Boop. Let's go kill the Cow King. Let's go kill the Cow King. Let's go kill the Cow King after all. Off armor enhancements. I mean, yep. That's absolutely correct. Off armor enhancement. A ring! I got a ring, a ring, a ring. A ring, a ring, a ring. I got a ring, a ring, a ring, a ring, a ring, a ring. Mana Leech. A very simple Mana Leech ring. Very simple. It's not much, but it's honest work. A Mana Leech ring. A Mana Leech ring. A high hold a Dario. A Mana Leech ring. Mana Leech ring. That's not a good ring. We need the yellow rings and not the blue rings. A demon head. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little demon head worth some money. Take it to the Charcy. Die. Die. I would like for you to die. That would be very nice. If you do not mind. Die. You die 2. You die 3. You die 4. You die 5. You die 6. Man, wow, so many champions in here. That is a lot of Power Rangers. Go, go, Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
The order welcomes you.
Sell. Sell. Keep. Mana potion, please. Do I like zombie movies? I've seen a lot of zombie movies. I was more of a fan of zombie movies like back in the day. I don't know. Like the newer ones are kind of poopy, to be honest. Like I don't know why. Like they seem to have gone downhill. I think it's because they turned from like the science or the like the mystical and the occult and the like fantastical reasons, and they went to like the scientific reasons, and they became boring. Boring. Yeah, my girlfriend was talking about 28 years later. I don't think I've ever seen, or if I did see, I don't think I remember the original one, the 28 days later or whatever. Apparently, she was also talking about how like 28 weeks later was apparently made by not the original author or something, and she hated it or something like that, or it wasn't very good. I'm gonna have to watch the original again to refresh my memory. What was that one that started out with Johnny Cash? I can't remember the one that started out with Johnny Cash, where like Johnny Cash is talking about how heaven or hell is full or something, and like the devil's rejecting souls, and so they're rising back from the graves or something. That one was really good. Walking Dead was good for a little while, but they stopped following their own rules. They made up rules for the zombies, and the zombies started breaking the rules. I think once you get into sprinter zombies, they're not zombies anymore. Like my personal opinion, I don't feel like those are zombies. Lost City, Claw Viper Temple. Sorry, I'm starving. I'm over here crunching. Starving to death. Oh no, I could talk about zombies for hours. I think once you put science behind zombies, I think I don't think it's really good. I don't think it's really good. Like I think scientific zombies makes them boring. Honestly.
What you need?
Like I was thinking about, I remember when Walking Dead was coming out, and I was thinking about like the fact that they were like scientific zombies, and they were trying to use like a fungus or something or whatever to like explain how they came back, and I'm like, but they're rotting. I'm like a year, maybe two. I'm like, just hold out a year, maybe two somewhere. I was like, and you're fine. I was like, all it would take is a couple harsh winters and a couple harsh summers, and all the zombies would be rotting away. They'd be gone. Like you might have a couple of them that would survive in like some stylized situations, like maybe they're inside of a freezer or something, or like some sort of insulated area, but like they'd be dead. I don't mean just like dead as in because all zombies are dead. I mean like the natural elements of nature would just like rot them away. Like they would start growing fungus, and they would start growing like mushrooms on them, and the munga, like they would just be slowly decaying and rotting away essentially, and like eventually their muscles and their sinews and everything else would just stop working. Like the whole entire idea behind zombies is that they're mythical. Like you don't put science in with zombies, because if you put science in with zombies, then science completely destroys the entire idea behind zombies. Like they're not scientific creations. They don't exist in science. They're mythical creations. They exist in the world of God and like souls and like the dead rising and things like that, and like, you know, evil ancient, like, you know, gods summoning forth the dead for retribution, or like you know, like hell being full, like we're literally like, you know, and no more souls could be put into hell, and so every person that died from that point forward rose again from the dead because there was nowhere for their soul to go. Like mysticism works so much better with zombies than science ever does. Like science just works against the entire principle of zombies, of this relentless creature that's coming back from the dead that literally can't be destroyed. Like that literally the only thing you can do is like utterly and completely destroy the body, and even at that point like the fingers are still wiggling around on the ground and stuff, because technically the zombie is still alive even though you've crushed every part of him. I mean, not just their clothes would dissolve away, their like skin, their bones would start showing, like their muscles would dissolve away. I mean, like the entire idea behind a zombie moving, and this is something that's very important, like that a lot of people like don't realize. Once you bring in science into the equation, well then you have to explain things. Like you need to explain how muscles work. I'm terrible at the hell? How do you spell muscles? That looks horribly wrong. Is that even right? You have to explain how muscles work. Like, am I even typing that correct? M-U-S. Okay, I do have it correct. So, like, how do muscles work? Like, how do muscles work, right? So let's just type in Google, and we'll just type in how do muscles work. And your heart is a muscle, by the way, right? So muscles work by contracting and relaxing, converting chemical energy into mechanical force to produce movement, right? Your muscles also require oxygen, right? So your muscles have to be supplied with blood and oxygen on a regular basis. So muscles need energy to contract, which they obtain from food and oxygen, right? So without blood pumping through the body, your muscles aren't getting the needed oxygen that they need, and they're not getting the needed chemicals that they need to expand and contract, right? So, like a zombie moving around at all when their heart isn't pumping, which is also a muscle, by the way, and not providing nutrients to their entire body, makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So as soon as you get into like scientific zombies, it immediately goes into like this world of like, okay, well, zombies don't make any sense because their heart isn't beating, and like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like their muscles are atrophying and rotting away. So how is the zombie even moving? Like his bones are showing. Like how is the zombie even moving when his bones are showing? Like, you know, he doesn't even have any muscles attached to his hand, and somehow his bones are moving. Like, and so you get into like the scientifics of it, and none of it makes any sense anymore. Like zombies, they should have never brought zombies into the realm of science because it makes no sense. Like they should have left zombies in the realm of mysticism. Mysticism. Did I spell that correctly? I don't even know. I don't know if I spelled that correctly. Yeah, mysticism. Hey, I got it right. Look at that. Exactly. And that's my thing too is why is he laying down over there? Chinchillas don't normally lay down like that. That was a little odd. I'll make sure he's okay. Chinchillas, like horses, don't normally lay down. I'll be right back. Ah, he seems okay. Maybe he's just sleepless. Or maybe he wasn't laying down at all. Maybe he was trying to itch his face on that thing right there. He never thought too much of the whole thing zombie scientifically. I mean, isn't that the whole point of the zombie movies? Is to like
Tell me your troubles.
think about what you do in like survival scenarios and like trying to stay alive, and isn't that half the fun? Hey, what's up, Maniac BG? Thanks for the $10. He said, if you add science to zombies, it is like if only brains was alive. Where is all the food going? If they have a digestive system, they have other organs as well as bringing them closer and closer to living. I mean, it's kind of like what I was about to say before I saw the chinchilla laying down. So, like, if you make up rules for your world, right? So let's say you create a scientific world, right? So you're making scientific zombies, and this is something that's important. So if you make scientific zombies, right? Then your scientific zombies have to follow the rules you set forth, like in your science world, right? So you can set up the rules of your own science world, and you can make up the rules of how things work, but like it still has to follow like some sort of scientific reality. Like for instance, in Agent Smith said 28 years later has an answer to the scientific part and why the new population isn't decaying into nothing. So you've got to come up with You have to come up with answers as to why, like, specific things are the way they are. Or, and this is also another question, or you have to follow like the rules of science, right? And if you follow the rules of science, like in terms of like how the body works and whatnot, and like for instance that a zombie wouldn't be able to move around without like blood pumping through his veins, like it's just not possible. Like the your muscles need, you know, like food, and they need oxygen to expand and contract and things like that, right? So there has to be something supplying that oxygen. There has to be something supplying that. And if the heart isn't supplying it, then something else has to, right? So in your scientific, you know, genre, if you're like designing a show around zombies, like you have to answer these questions. You got to come up with the rules as to how your zombies work. Like, what is motivating your zombies? Like, is it a fungus? Is it like some sort of brain-sucking parasite? Like, are the people actually technically still alive? Are they dead? Are they rotting? Like, there's tons of things that you have to answer, right? Zombies are generally dead, right? So that's not really the same thing. Some shows will call them like walkers, and they come up with all sorts of different names for them. So you could potentially come up with a different name for yours, and instead of calling them zombies, they could be like, you know, like people who have some sort of horrible fungal infection which drives them crazy. Or like it could be, what's that one with Will Smith where like instead of being zombies they were like humans that had succumbed to some sort of illness that turned them into like mindless creatures, which was completely different, right? And that made sense because the humans were still alive, right? They were just humans with like a horrible brain, like debilitating like virus or something, right? I Am Legend. Exactly. So like in I Am Legend, the humans were still alive. They weren't dead, right? So they're not zombies. It was like a virus that affected their mentality. And so I Am Legend worked much better because instead of having these unscientific dead zombies that could move around that made no sense, they had scientific humans that were just infected with a virus that could potentially be cured if you had a cure for the virus, which he eventually makes in the movie. Spoiler. He eventually figures out a cure for the virus, right? And then they start to like rehabilitate these people and turn them back into humans. And I think that's also something that has to be put into play is you have to answer the question, okay, well, if these are scientific zombies, then in a scientific world, then you could develop a cure, right? And if there's a cure for being a zombie, well, then the zombies are less scary because, well, you know, like you could potentially cure the illness. And that's why a lot of the movies, when they approach the subject of a cure, they make the cure impossible, right? Like the cure is like completely impossible to obtain. Or another option is they make the cure like possible, but it got lost or something, like it's at the bottom of like the ocean or something because like somebody dropped it, or like the ship got taken over by zombies or something, and like the only cure is like lost at the bottom of the sea, and like, you know, or something stupid like that, right? And so because if there was a cure, and this is kind of like the whole thing that pisses me off about scientific zombies as well, besides obviously the fact that they don't function very obviously, is that like if it's scientific zombies, then that means there's a cure. And if there's a cure, then that means they're not very scary, right? Because, you know, if there's a cure for it, well, then we can potentially fix it. And so in most of the movies, you know, to basically, like, fix this, they make the cure impossible or, like, very hard to get, or, like make it out of some sort of materials, which is impossible, or like put it outside of the realm of thought by saying like there's nobody who's a scientist who actually can do that kind of work or something like that, right? They always take the cure and put it out of reach because they know that if the cure was in reach, then the scientific zombies would not be very scary now, would they? And that's the other thing that makes the mythical zombies more scary. There's no cure for mythical zombies, okay? Mythical zombies are literally dead corpses that come back from the grave. What are you curing? You're going to cure them back into a corpse? Like, and what are you curing them with? Like, you know, like summon forth Jesus? Like, and I summon forth the power of Jesus! And you, like, hold up a crucifix and, like, a beam of light shoots out of the crucifix and, like, the zombies fall down? Or do you have turn undead? Like... Do you have turn undead? Because you're probably going to need turn undead in a mythical zombie movie. Like, Like, get yourself a paladin, find a paladin that has turn undead, and let's go. Even in I Am Legend, where they create the cure, they make the cure into this mythical thing that can't be obtained. Like, they do it all the time. Like, it's this semi-mythical thing that they took forever to make, and like he needed to like sacrifice like a subject, and then there was like a whole bunch of other stupid stuff that went on, and like it's always very difficult to obtain, right? It always like takes the sacrifice of somebody's life, or like you have to sacrifice like a whole village to get the cure, or like you have to like wade through a sea of zombies that's the biggest sea of zombies you've ever seen in your life. Like it's billions of zombies. It's such a large. You've never seen a pack like this. You've never seen a zombie. Billions of zombies. It's such a large pack. Like the greatest zombie pack that ever existed to get to this cure. The cure is in the toenail clippings of GGM. Don't say that. Somebody will show up on my house and start clipping my toes. I don't want them to come clip my toes. I don't want the toe clippings. I don't know. I like zombie movies. I do, but like, if you're gonna make a zombie movie, follow like the rules in your own zombie movie. That's all I got to say. Like, make up the rules and follow the rules in your own zombie movie. That's the most important thing. Like, what were the rules in Walking Dead, right? Like, they said that there was a fungus or something, and it was like reactivating the brain. So technically, the humans were still alive, right? So like, the human would die, and then the fungus would reactivate the brain, and so the brain was still going. And then, but that doesn't explain like the fact that the heart's not beating, and for some reason they're eating food, and like where's the food going? They don't even have a stomach anymore. Like, most of the body isn't even functioning. Like, I don't even understand what's going on. Like that wise. I guess you could say the fungus could be trying to provide like nutrients to the body so the body could move, but how much nutrients can a fungus supply to a full body with a circulatory system that's not working? Oh, thanks for another $10, Maniac. Appreciate it. I also like how militaries collapse totally. However, guys with revolvers and bows are just the ultimate zombie killer 9000s. Just a small example of 50 cal ammo will sever healthy limbs. What about a corpse? I mean, yeah, like, I agree. Like, that's another thing that always kind of pissed me off about, like, all the zombie movies. Like, the military just collapses into nothingness. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Like, I don't get it. But that's definitely one thing that I think is a loophole, or a plot. What's it called when you have like a bad plot device? There's a term for it. Why am I forgetting the term for it? Brain not work so good. Brain difficult to manage. A plot hole, that's what it is. Plot hole. It's a plot hole. Like, I don't understand why the military is always so weak in the zombie movies. It's a big old plot hole. Like, the military should be strong, like, in most of the movies. There's very few movies, in fact, that actually have, like, really strong militaries, which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
Greetings.
And you don't think the military would think to shoot the zombies in the head? Like, you don't think the military would think about that? Like, you got a trained soldier who's literally, like, his whole life he's trained to do things like a specific way. You don't think he would have like the training necessary to be like, these guys aren't responding to shoots in the body. Let me try and shoot him in the head. Oh, look, I shot him in the head. Hey guys, shooting him in the head works. All right, thanks, Jim. Hoorah! Yeah, Brad Pitt's zombie movies was a little weird. I didn't like the way the zombies worked in that movie. Like, they were, like, what were the zombies in that movie? They were like Gumbies. Like, Like instead of zombies, they were like Gumby. They were like Gumby-esque creatures. It was like an entire army of Gumbies. Gumby. It was like I don't even understand. There was a couple scenes where like the zombies were like combining together like multiple Gumbies, and they were moving around in really weird ways, and like I didn't understand what the hell was going on in World War Z. Like sometimes, like when they were climbing the wall and they were all standing on top of each other's shoulders, and they're just like swaying around like a tree in the wind. Like, and they all climbed up on top of each other and like went over the wall. It was really stupid. It was really like that whole plot line where they went to what was it, Israel or whatever, and like the zombies were stuck behind the wall. That was really cool. And then they had the zombies climb the wall like Gumbies, and I was like, okay, this is stupid. They're like, you think you're safe behind your 300-foot, 70 feet thick stone wall? Yeah, right. Our zombies can Gumby up the wall and like stand on each other's shoulders and pile up into big piles until they're Gumbying over the wall. Yeah, how about that? Like, dude, it's a 300-foot tall wall. How are they Gumbying up the wall? But they did it. They Gumbied up the wall. Let me see if I can find a screenshot from like World War Z, like wall scene. It was so stupid. I bet you there's a GIF. Is there a GIF of the zombies like Gumbying up the wall? Let me see if I can find a GIF. Yeah, here they go. They're Gumbying up the wall, guys. Let's go, Gumby boys. Let's Gumby up that wall. We're going Gumby. Let's do some Gumbying. Let's go, babies. Makes no sense whatsoever. Like, the zombies would never be able to do that in 1,000 years. You know how tall that wall is? It's ridiculous. That wall is ridiculously tall. If you look at like one zombie at the base of the wall, that wall has got to be at least like 100 people tall, if not more. And that's like an average height of like 5 to 6 feet per person. That's like the freaking wall is like over like 600 feet tall. There's no way they're climbing on each other's backs to the point where they're getting over the wall. I'm sorry. Yeah, the medical part of that movie was actually halfway decent. I did think the medical part was halfway decent. It was alright. When they were sneaking around in the medical place, that was pretty cool. Then they got to the silly stuff like the wall, and I was just like, oh, okay. I don't know what's going on anymore. T-Lash, can you get out of melee combat for once in your life? Broski. Like, you've been in melee combat since I got you. Like, you're not a melee fighter. I'm gonna start punching the air. It's just wham, 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 wham. Beep, 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 beep. And make sure my phone's charged for tonight. Oh, never mind. It's at 100%. Nice. Nice. What was the first zombie movie anyway? Was it Night of the Living Dead, or were there movies before Night of the Living Dead? I can't even remember. By the way, just for you guys' reference, I was making my monster videos and I got to the mummies, and somebody called them zombie burritos, and I couldn't help but laugh. Zombie burritos. All right, remember that forever, guys. Mummies are just zombie burritos. Wasn't there a Stephen King movie that kind of like had zombies, or or am I misremembering? I'm misremembering. I can't remember like all the Stephen King movies. I mean, yeah, I guess Pet Cemetery kind of counts, but I was thinking more like human zombies and not like. Apparently, there's one called Cell, based on his 2006 novel. It was released in 2016. A mysterious signal transmitted through cell phones turns people into mindless, violent creatures. I don't think I've seen that one. 2016, that would have been like. Yeah, 2016 was not a good year for me for movies and stuff like that. I think I was busy with other things at that particular time period. Yeah, Pet Cemetery kind of counts too. You got like the zombie animals. Although, is Pet Cemetery zombies, or is that more like demon-possessed creatures? Like, I think that might fall more into demon-possessed creatures, right? Because like, weren't the pets like demon-possessed by some sort of like ancient evil or something, and it wasn't actually the pet that came back, it was something else? Gage was a zombie. The baby. Oh no, yeah, that's right. They did have a human. That's right. Because they put the pet in there. Yeah, I remember. They put the pet in there, and then the pet came back, and they thought, hey, like, we can put the kid in there, and maybe the kid will come back. Yeah, that's right. A zombie's a zombie, no matter how small. Ow, almost died. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead is really good. Kind of lighthearted. It doesn't really take itself too seriously. We're going to the Winchester. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Yeah, it's usually because there's just so many people in cities. See, I kind of feel like cities wouldn't be as bad as everyone portrays the cities as. Like, I feel like most people have, you know, like, the sense not to go out and do stupid things in the zombie apocalypse, and like while there might be people dying from starvation, like, for the most part, I don't think the cities would be as bad as everyone claims. Especially since the zombies wouldn't even be able to get in most places. I mean, we're not talking about thinking, like, reasoning individuals that can turn doorknobs and pick locks and stuff like that. I mean, for the most part, a lot of, like, buildings are locked down. Like, the doorway is locked down. Like, each individual room is locked down. Like, zombies would have a harder time, I think, like, traversing around a city than we would imagine. The city would be overrun by zombies only if the people in the city die, right? So, like, you have to think about it logically and reasonably. Like, yes, cities have lots of people, but if the people in the city aren't dying, well, then where are the zombies coming from? They're not just gonna, like, magically appear from nowhere. You know, in, like, mythical ones, it comes from the cemetery. But, like, if you're in a city and everybody is, like, staying inside their house, like, nobody's dying, then the zombies wouldn't be multiplying because people wouldn't be dying. The most of the buildings are locked down. The rooms are locked down. Like, you're in a house, it's locked down. I mean, you can, like, board up the windows and stuff if you have, like, a bunch of glass everywhere. But, like, if you're in a city, you're probably in an apartment building that's many stories high. Like, what zombies are coming to you if you're on, like, the 20th floor of an apartment building with a locked door? It's not going to be that big of a deal. Not as big of a deal as I think people make it out to be. Now, granted, after, like, years and years and, like, everybody starts dying and stuff like that, yeah, it'll slowly get really bad in the cities. But, like, at first, it probably wouldn't be as bad in the city at all as you would think. People would stay in their homes for the most part. They would deal with their own food reserves. They would probably eat until they run out of food. And they probably wouldn't leave the house until they had, like, no other option. And unless we're talking about some sort of airborne virus, like, if we're talking about traditional zombies, which requires a bite, you know, like, who's getting infected? Like, in the mythical zombie world, right, you die, you immediately turn into a zombie because you're already infected. But, like, in the, the scientific zombie world, most of the time it requires a bite beforehand. Some of the zombie movies have, like, handled that by saying, well, everybody's infected, which is kind of stupid, honestly, because, no, everybody wouldn't be infected. But, like, I guess if you want to go that route, then, yeah, okay, everybody's infected, and if you die, you turn into a zombie. But, like, still, they'd be inside their own rooms, and they'd be trying to stay alive. They'd be using the food that they have and what's available to them to survive in their own environment. Like, I don't think it would be as bad as people think. Violancer. Violancer poisoned me, and that was rude. Also, I think, you know, like, the prevalence of guns, especially, like, in the United States, you'd probably have a lot of the zombies would get killed right off the bat. Zombie trying to break into somebody's house, he gets shot in the forehead. Pop, pop. I mean, the cool thing about cities is you can potentially put a garden on your roof. Like, if somebody's got the potting soil and you can find the right ingredients, like, you could straight up just make a whole garden on your roof. You just need some seeds and whatnot. And I guarantee you, like, in a whole building, you're probably going to find somebody who's got some potting soil, and you're probably going to find somebody who's got some seeds. And you could just frickin' start growing a whole frickin', like, garden on the roof for food. Exactly, Lord Anticore. Exactly. Agent Smith said, or Maniac said, that is the other thing. I was wondering, how is a zombie able to understand the surroundings? How does it have spatial orientation? I mean, that's also kind of important to talk about, is their eyes would probably be completely dead. Your eyes require blood flow, like oxygen. Like, without oxygen, your eyes will eventually deteriorate to the point where they don't work anymore. Your eyes are also working off of muscles, like, which require blood flow and oxygen. And, like, I don't think their eyes would work very well at all. Like, they'd probably be... their eyes would probably be blind. They'd probably be blind, if not almost completely blind, like, within a very short period of time of dying. Well, see, some movies have the zombies becoming, like, animalistic, right? So, like, they become these animalistic creatures, and they revert back to, you know, like, pre-human intelligence, basically, right? And that's fine, but, like, animals aren't capable of opening like locked doors, and animals aren't capable of traversing specific types of environments. Like okay, you turned them into animals, all right? Congratulations. And then at that point, now we treat them like animals because they have animalistic intelligence. They're not very smart. They can't open doors. They can't do anything, right? So like now you don't even really have to worry about them all much because you make some like minor modifications. You like keep them out of specific areas by like walling stuff off and locking doors and making sure you barricade stuff so it's just the adequate amount of protection needed, and you're Gucci. Yeah, see that's understandable because without blood flow and without oxygen to your muscles, they wouldn't work very good, and the muscles would also be slowly deteriorating over a long period of time. So that's why when most movies like portray the zombies as these like clumsy, like inadequate creatures that like can't seem to move properly and are like struggling to get anything done, like that's accurate. Like that's an accurate representation because like if you have a scientific zombie, essentially, right? And that's kind of like the whole thing we're talking about is like science zombie versus like non-science zombie. Like if you have a science zombie, well, they're going to slowly degrade and deteriorate over time, and they're going to get less and less coordinated as time goes on. It's just going to be a matter of time, essentially, right? Like eventually you'll have zombies that are like almost completely rotten, and there's nothing left of them. They're just like bones, like skin and bones, and they can barely move. Rotted zombie.
Greetings.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not entirely convinced like that like in a lot of the movies, like in Walking Dead, for instance, they just go with like little knives, like hunting knives, and they're just stabbing foreheads because like taking out the brain is the most important thing. Like in most movies, like yeah, sometimes the brain is the weak spot, but like sometimes like you can like chop off their head and they're still moving around. Like I think a good old mace or a club of some kind is probably your best bet. Like a good old flanged mace. I think at the end of the day, a flanged mace is probably your best friend with zombies. Like that's your best bet. Get yourself a real nice flanged mace and just start swinging that jank around. It doesn't take a genius to know how to use a flanged mace. It's got a nice point on it right here. It's good physical blunt damage. It breaks bones, crushes skulls. I mean, what's not to like about a good flanged mace in a zombie apocalypse? I'd love to have a flange mace. Anybody want to buy me a flange mace? Like, I would love to have just to have it on stream and like just like wave it around and stuff. If anybody wants to get me one, I will send you my address. You can buy me a flange mace. What kind of flange maces we got in here? I need a nice one. Late 15th century flanged mace. That one's pretty nice. That's a really nice one. Look at that one. That's got some heft to it. I bet you that hurt a lot. A crowbar's easier to find. Yeah, crowbars are kind of heavy, though. Like, crowbars are not really balanced properly for swinging as a weapon. Like, yes, they would work in a pinch, but you'd be much better off with something that would actually have, like, be made specifically for swinging and dishing out damage. Like, your average crowbar is very heavy along the entire weapon, like, from the tip all the way to the end. Like, you want something like a mace that has a much heavier end than the rest of it so that the weight is balanced towards this side so that when you're hitting with it, like you're dealing large amounts of damage. With a crowbar, yes, you can still deal damage, but like the thing about a crowbar is like the whole thing is heavy. And so it's balanced awkwardly and like swinging it for a long term is not really going to be preference. Like you would probably want something else other than a crowbar after a while. Like eventually you would want a nice mace or a bat, or get yourself like a really nice aluminum bat and put some spikes on it or something, like, or a wooden bat and put some spikes on it, put some nails in it or something like that. Something that's actually meant to be swung. Like, and a flanged mace is like the ultimate form of that. Like, if you can get your hands on a flanged mace in a zombie apocalypse, like that's your go-to right there. Like, you can swing that, you can take pretty much anything out with that. It's not going to get stuck in the zombie because it doesn't have really long tines or anything on it to, like, make it get stuck. So, like, not only are you going to do massive amounts of damage, breaking bones, like, smashing skulls, but also it's not going to get stuck in anything and potentially be a hazard later on. Your crowbar could potentially get stuck because it's got that hook on it, right? So you could smash into somebody's skull with it, and then it might get stuck in there, and then you can't pull it out. And you got to think about that too. And then you're disarmed because the zombie now has your weapon stuck in his head, and you can't swing around a whole zombie, right? Okay, we need to find the Darkwood waypoint, then we can go back and we can get Stony Field. We can go do our Tristram. I don't think a sword is a good choice versus zombies. I really don't. I don't think it's a good choice at all. Like, yeah, you could do some damage with it, but it really depends on what kind of zombies we're talking about. Like, if we're talking about scientific zombies, maybe it might be a little bit more useful. But if we're talking about mythical zombies, you know, like mythical zombies, I think your mace is going to be better. Swing the crowbar on the round side. I mean, yeah, you're right. It could still end up getting caught on something because of that hook, though. It could get caught on clothing. It could get caught on anything, and that hitch could get you bit. Like during that time period where it's hitched and you're trying to pull it back, could mean your life. Are there mythical sprinter zombies? I mean, if you count like fantasy in the mix, I mean, I suppose there's probably mythical sprinter zombies. Usually the fast zombies, like in the mythical world, are the fresh zombies. Like they're the ones that are fresh. Like they're not rotted. Like they generally still have most of the meat on their bones. Like if you have a zombie made out of somebody who's like freshly dead, those are usually the ones that are fast and more coordinated. And they become less and less coordinated as their bodies deteriorate, which is pretty par for the course for most zombies. Like as their bodies deteriorate, they should get slower and they should get, you know, less agile essentially. You talking about the whites in like, yeah, whites would fall into that category, but they would be like what's the term for whites? Whites are like created zombies. Like that falls into like the created zombie section, which is where you have like some sort of being creating the zombies. Where is this waypoint? Oh, I already had that. I'd seen the waypoint over there. Did I not click on it? Because it wasn't on my list when I went to go look. Okay, there we go. Boop. I just want to see a fat zombie that gets stuck in every doorway while chasing people. I think there's a lot of comedy in zombies that they could explore that they really just haven't explored properly. And, like, I don't know why they haven't really explored a lot of the comedy that you can potentially have with zombies. Like, one of the comedy, like, aspects of zombies that I think is really funny is, like, older zombies, like old lady or old man zombies where, like, they don't have any teeth left. Like, and you basically have, like, a whole, like, a zombie that's, like, 90 years old or something, and she's got no teeth. And there was one movie, I can't remember which one it was, where, like, they had the zombies, and the zombies were, like, they were on a plane or something, and the guy gets bit. And it's, like, some old lady zombie, and she doesn't have any teeth, and she's just, like, gumming his arm with her no-teeth gums, and she's just like, and he's just like, ew, that is so disgusting. And yeah, like fat zombies, like all sorts of stuff, like zombies in a wheelchair, like they there's like a huge amount of zombie-related humor that they could potentially explore that I feel like they just haven't explored properly, like in the zombie world. There's definitely a lot there. There's low-hanging fruit and there's high-hanging fruit. Like, you could have like a zombie handcuffed to the bed, you know, from like some sort of sex-related act, right? You know, like you break into the room and like there's a zombie like on the bed, handcuffed to the bed, like from zombiness. That could be pretty hilarious. And then like, ow, 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 ow! Why are you so mean? Ow. Yeah, Left 4 Dead zombies are pretty interesting too because the zombies had like specific traits that were given to them by like how they died or like what was going on to them. Like there was the smokers that had like the really long tongue or whatever, and then there was like the big fat ones that exploded. And then there was what I'm trying to remember all the zombie types in Left 4 Dead. Somebody help me out. There was the smoker, there was the explodey, there was a fast one too, right? And then there was the witch, which was like the little girl. Am I forgetting any? I think I might be forgetting some.
It's as if a great war were fought here.
So the food thing doesn't necessarily have to be the like the end of the conversation there. Like so yeah, if the digestive tract doesn't work, then there's a very good chance that they're not getting nutrients. But you could potentially say that like maybe there's like a fungus or some sort of other organism which is digesting the food in a different way than our digestive system would potentially digest the food, which I think is viable. Like that's an okay observation. The other problem is that like how does it get around the body though? So like that's one of the other problems is that like okay, even if they have an alternative way to digest the food and turn it into, you know, like a matter which is acceptable for the body, how is the body then taking that food and then transferring it around to the, you know, to the muscles and to the organs and all the other things that it needs to get to, right? So even if you do have something digesting the food, at what point or another is the food actually being distributed? You know, like because the entire like blood circulatory system of the body has shut down essentially. Like it's no longer capable of doing any of those things. Like you don't have like the blood transferring nutrients. You don't have, you know, like the central nervous system. Like there's all the stuff is shut down. So they've got to find another way to transmit the like the nutrients to the rest of the body. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab something.
Why do zombies need to eat? Well, I would counter that question with, do they? So I would immediately counter your question with, like, do they need to eat? Is that true? The question like comes into to suspect when you consider the following, which is like, do they actually need to eat? Maybe they're just following a primal instinct or a command from some sort of mythical source. Maybe they don't need to eat at all. Maybe it's just a leftover instinct from a bygone part of their brain that's trying to tell them to eat, that they need food. Or maybe they actually are hungry, but they cannot eat. Imagine like being in a situation where you are hungry and you are trying to eat food. Like, I don't know, like in the case of, let's use a movie reference. So let's use a reference, like my SD card came in, that's why I went and got, and I put it in my Switch. Get in there. Let's use a movie reference like Pirates of the Caribbean. You remember when he was trying to drink like the alcohol, or he was trying to eat the apple, and the alcohol and the apple just like fell through their body and like poured right out onto the floor? Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually even obtaining any kind of nutrients from it. It could just simply be that they're eating it and nothing is happening. You know, maybe they just eat it and they never satiate themselves. Like, they're hungry, but they can never be full. They're thirsty, but they can never drink. Like, but they're trying to anyway. And that's kind of how I always looked at it, is like yes, they're trying to eat your brains, but like, why are they trying to eat your brains? I don't know. Some sort of like deep instinctual, like, I need to do this, but not necessarily even understanding why. And not only that, but maybe not even getting anything out of it either. Like, there's a very good possibility they might not be getting anything out of it.
Deckard Cain, go to the rogue's camp without delay.
Ooh. This place is full of poison immune monsters and nasty things. I think I'm leaving. I mean, that's another thing, the whole biting. Like, biting is a muscle, right? Muscles require blood. I mean, I guess technically the muscle in your head is the closest to your brain, so if there's some sort of organism, like, affecting your overall, like, cognitive ability, I guess that's the closest muscle to your actual brain that may or may not still work. Holy Jesus. That is the best ring I think I have ever gotten from one of these quests ever in all time. Holy Jesus, that is insane. What the F even is that? Every single stat on there is good except for the +3 light radius. The only bad stat on it is a +3 light radius. What the F even is that? 123 attack rating, 5 minimum damage. Do you know how much 5 minimum damage is? Multiply that by 3 for a maximum damage number. That's how good minimum damage is, okay? So multiply that by 3, and you get 15. So that's a +15 maximum damage, 123 AR, 3% life leech, 10% all res, 30% cold res. It's going on my finger. It's going right on my fingers. It's going right on my fingers. My fingers. Going on my fingers. Now get it on Friday. It's it's only level 48 too. Like, what the F even is this? I need to put a screenshot of this in like frickin' in the like Epic Wins channel. That's my rescue Cain ring. I rescued Cain and I got a god tier ring. I rescued Cain and I got an amazing god tier ring. I rescued Cain and I got this ring and it's amazing. It's a super ring. Boys.
Dude, this ring's nuts. Look at how much damage it gives me. Look at this. 289 damage in Pale to 342. It brings me up a crazy amount of damage on the min. Look at that. That is beautiful. That is so pretty. I should put my other good ring on and like have like a set of good rings. Hold on, where's my other good ring at? There's my like halfway decent ring right there. That one's nowhere near as good as this one. I think I'm gonna keep this one on because it has the lightning resistance on it, which I desperately need. Do you want me to see if you can come in a bit later to help? Yeah, if you want me to come in later, I can come in later. I can help with stuff. Boom, 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 boom. The Raven hold. Raven, 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 hold. Raven, 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 hold. Raven, 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 hold. Raven. Dude, that's like a solid 6-point ring, isn't it? I think that's the only way that could have been any better is if it rolled dual leech, right? That's the only way that could be better, if it rolled mana and life leech at the same time. So if it had rolled dual leech, that would have sealed the deal, and that would have been a solid, what, 7-point ring? Nuts. Alright, let's get the hell out of Dodge. Oh yeah, hold on. I want to download some games on my Nintendo Switch. I just got my new SD card, so if you guys don't mind bearing with me for a minute, I'm going to pull up my Nintendo Switch too. And I'm gonna activate some downloads real quick. Now that I got my new SD card in there, make sure my SD card is like formatted and stuff. Shouldn't take me but like a second. To use the new micro SDXC card, update the system. Your butthole is itchy. The system will restart. I see you, little Chinchy. I see you, little Chinchy. He said, no, don't look at me. Don't look at me. Doom, 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 boom, 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 boom. Alright, so does that mean we got our SD card installed now? Is it actually active? Let's go check. The Nintendo Switch 2 is a premium console, guys. Like, I don't even know how to explain it other than that. Like, it is a premium doohickey. Move to micro SD express card. Move to system memory. I actually do want to move one of the bigger games to the SD card. Yeah, Doom 3 can move to the SD card. Prime Remastered can move to the SD card. Super Mario RPG, that can go. Baldur's Gate can go. That can go. That can go. Everspace is really good. I love that game. That can go. That can go. That can go. That can go. You can go. You can go. You can go. Child of Light can go. You need to be uninstalled. You can go. You can go. Nightmare Reaper. That was pretty fun. I need to uninstall that one though. I can go to the SD card for now. I'm trying to split like the difference between the two here. Golf Story. I ain't never played a RPG about golfing before, but that was actually really fun. I did like Doom 3. I don't know why people didn't like Doom 3. I guess it was much less of a like run and gun, but like I enjoyed Doom 3. I thought it was a much more interesting like style of play. Like yeah, it still had the run and gun, but there was a story element to it and it actually felt kind of cool. 15 minutes, 16 minutes. All right, so we can like just let this do its thing for a little bit, and we can play some Diablo 2 while we're waiting. So I'm just gonna put this down here, and we can go back to D2 for the moment. I'll have to remember to go back and check on it. Did I buy all those games? I've had the Nintendo Switch 1 since it launched, Phantom. So I've got tons of games. And the Nintendo Switch 2 is compatible with all the games that were compatible with the Nintendo Switch 1 for the most part. I think there's a couple exclusions, but like, I mean, yeah, like I have tons of games, my friend. I've got so many Nintendo Switch games, I don't even know. I need to actually sell my Nintendo Switch 1. Is anybody looking to purchase a Nintendo Switch 1? Because I've got like my old launch edition, and I also have the OLED model. I have 2 Nintendo Switch 1s that I would probably like to sell. Would come with the dock and Joy-Cons and like maybe some other doohickeys. I mean, it's up to you guys if you want one of my old Nintendo Switches. Now that I got the Nintendo Switch 2, I don't really need the old Nintendo Switches anymore, so. Where the hell is the Black Marsh? Like, what am I missing? Did I completely miss the Black Marsh entrance somewhere? It's not this way. It's gotta be up there. Yeah, it's gotta be... Maybe? Actually, I don't even see it. What the hell? Over this way? I thought Doom 3 was pretty amazing when it came out. Like I liked it. It wasn't until recently when like Doom Dark Ages came out that like people were actually making fun of Doom 3, and I didn't exactly understand why. Didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Okay, what the hell am I missing here? Like, oh wait. Oh, I know what I'm missing. What I'm missing is that this doesn't have 2 entrances. So this is the entrance. I thought this was the or exit. I thought this was the entrance to Darkwood, but then I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was in Darkwood, which only has 1 exit. So, yeah, I'm stupid. Don't mind me. My girlfriend was playing a bunch of zombie games, too, like Dying Light and Dead Island. She seemed to really enjoy those games, like Dying Light and Dead Island. There's one other one, too. What's the other one that she played? There's Dead Island, Dying Light, and there's one other, like, zombie-esque style game that was out there. Why am I forgetting the name of it? I want to get this waypoint.
So, this is the site of Andariel's atrocities.
I kind of want to look up zombie games real quick and just like go over a list of zombie games. Let's see. Zombie games list. Let's look at zombie games. Plants vs. Zombies. Left 4 Dead is really good. I'm actually kind of sad they didn't continue the Left 4 Dead series. I really should have. Days Gone, Dead Rising, Dying Light. Yeah, those are pretty good ones. Dead Island is more of like kind of like a funny one. DayZ. I've heard DayZ has some pretty good zombie stuff in it. A lot of them are mods, though. And Dead Trigger's kind of poopy. I mean, I guess Resident Evil or zombies movies. I don't really consider like Resident Evil like zombies. That's more like viral warfare than it is zombies than anything. Like it feels like Resident Evil is more of like a viral warfare movie than a zombie, like, kind of a thing. Kind of curious how you guys feel about like the Resident Evil style zombies. 7 Days to Die. Carn Evil. The DayZ developer took the money and ran, you said? Nice. That boy's name is Viperhorn. Viperhorn, Viperhorn. Radioactive Viperhorn. Gotta get my Valkyrie some more HP. She dies too much. Stop resurrecting everything. Merc, if you don't get your butt over here, and look, you dead. And see, that's what you get. Dead. Dead.
The Sisterhood welcomes you.
There's a lot of interesting aspects to zombies, I think, that like get explored in certain movies and whatnot, and like kind of get ignored in others. I mean, when you think about zombies from like a specific point of view, like zombies are really interesting from a lot of different angles, and like why you like zombies specifically is, you know, like various things. Like, you know, zombies have like multiple different angles. There's the horror aspect of zombies, right? There's the, you know, collapse of a civilization. Some people really like to witness the collapse of civilization and what would happen if like everything like, you know, fell apart. And then there's like the survival aspect of it, right? So like a lot of people enjoy the survival aspect of zombies, which is like, you know, like using your brain and coming up with unique and inventive solutions to problems, and like, you know, farming and gardening and whatnot, surviving essentially. There's also the combat part of it. Like a lot of people like the combat part of zombies, which is, you know, like fighting back essentially versus the zombies. And then there's like the cure part of the zombies that people enjoy, which is like trying to find the cure for the zombies. And it's a very interesting aspect of, you know, zombieism. And then like having to balance everything like all together is quite interesting. And then there's the drama aspect of it, where you're like fighting other humans, which, you know, happens on occasions, and like that's the whole part of it. Like zombies have so much going on, like in their retrospectiveness when you really think about it. And like what part of this is what you enjoy? Like I tend to enjoy the survival aspect. I tend to enjoy the combat aspect. I also tend to enjoy the like collapse of civilization aspect, because it's kind of interesting from that regard. Like to see the, you know, the civilization collapse and like what happens as the civilization collapses and whatnot. Like these are pretty interesting aspects to me. Like I've never really been horrified of the zombies, because I think in most situations, if you're smart enough and like put your brain to work, you could probably survive a zombie apocalypse. Like I think that's doable. Like unless we're talking about like super fast zombies that run faster than humans do and like are smarter than we are and like break into buildings and stuff. But like if we're talking about regular zombies that, you know, like come back from the dead and like are slow and generally stupid, and like you can kind of avoid them and like, you know, stay away, like this is more interesting, right? And then like I think everybody has their own specific aspect of zombies that they tend to enjoy over others. I'm sure if I like polled the stream right now, you guys would have your own specific aspects that you like about zombies, and you'd be different from somebody else that like zombies for X reason. Wham. 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 The hard part is the surviving, right?
It's the survival aspect. That's the interesting part that a lot of people like is the survival. End up dying to like some basic illness or whatever that like nobody would even think about. Like a lot of people wouldn't think about it, but soap. Soap is pretty important in a zombie apocalypse. You're gonna need some soap. You're gonna have to wash them hands. You're gonna need to take baths and stuff. Like you might want to like save on some of them like like at some of the chicken places they give you like those little moist towelettes like with alcohol on them so you can like clean off your hands afterward. You're gonna want like a whole bunch of those. That way you can like do little like alcohol wipe downs. Keep yourself nice and clean, you know, healthy. That was in that wasn't a zombie movie, but it was an apocalypse movie. What was the name of that movie? Cody just farted. Dying. What was the name of that movie? It was similar to I Am Legend, but it was with Denzel Washington. And Denzel Washington is trying to get the Bible to like some sort of like historical society that would like enshrine the Bible or whatever. What the hell was that one? Can't even remember. The Book of Eli, yeah. God, Cody's farts are fucking eye-watering. Oh my god. Cody! I'm gonna turn the fan on. We turning the fan on blast. Gotta get that fart out of here. I can't even open my eyes. They start watering. Ah. It like fights you too. Like the dog farts, they like fight back. Like why they fight? Why are they so angry? Angry farts. And then like they linger too. Like they don't just go away like a normal fart does. They gotta linger and hang around for a while. Yeah, Book of Eli, he did stuff like that where he had like alcohol swabs in his little pack, and he would like wipe himself down with the alcohol like moist towelettes and he would do like a whole like body scrub down or whatever, and he tried to stay as healthy as he could. Although there was one part in there that I think a lot of people probably look at and they were like, "Oh my god." He killed like a cat, and he boiled the cat's fat and made like some lip balm. He had like some cat lip balm. He's like, I got some lip balm, you know, some oils, some cat fat. He was cooking up cats. I mean, I guess in an apocalypse, you're going to eat whatever you can get your hands on. I hate to say it, but it is the truth. You're probably going to be eating whatever you can get your hands on. They were so happy for that tiny bottle of shampoo. Exactly. Like you're gonna be excited for like soaps and stuff. Thing is, soap is easy to make. Like, it's a lot easier to make than people realize. So the two main ingredients in soap, like if you look up the two main ingredients in soap, so two main ingredients in soap. The two main ingredients are fat. Or oil, and then lye. So lye, a lot of people don't know what lye is. So let me look up what lye is, so you guys know what lye is. So lye is a strong alkaline solution, and you might be thinking, where the hell am I going to get lye from? Right? Like, well, you can get lye from a fire. So lye actually comes from, I believe it's called ash is the normal way. Lye from ash. So lye can be made from ash, particularly wood ash, so something you would have plenty of in a zombie apocalypse because you'd be burning wood for fuel, right? So by leaching the ash with water. So the process is called leaching, extracts the alkaline components, primarily potassium carbonate from the ash, resulting in a concentrated solution of lye. The lye is used for various purposes, including soap making. So basically, you can create lye. And then you have fats, which you would probably be hunting animals at that point, right? You would probably be getting like deer and rabbits and stuff like that to eat.